술 하나 show 다른 걸 원해 more 경기를 깨고 raw We don't stop until the sun goes up 딱 내려놓고 춤을 춰 No way you can make us stop We about to paint the town La-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta Paint the town La-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta Paint the town
Good evening and welcome here to Cougar Stadium on the campus of Canyon High School for this District 12 5A Division I matchup, the district opener here in District 12 5A between the Canyon Cougars and the Dripping Springs Tigers from Dripping Springs, Texas. Hello, family. James Hadnot here with you. Former Texas State quarterback Brian Hill with me. And, Coach, this is a huge matchup. Both of these teams won the district last year. They tied along with Seguin. This is an important matchup. What really happens once district play starts?
Well, you always want to get off to a good start when district rolls around. You know, the first non-district games, especially for Canyon situation where Coach Bush, this is his first year coming in. So using those non-district games is really kind of a test to see how guys fit in your system and how best to utilize those guys in your system. And so you kind of use those as a measuring stick and where to fit guys. And now the district's rolling around. Obviously, you want to win every game, but now the district started, it really starts counting. And so, and they got a good test here tonight against Dripping Springs, another really good team.
Last year, this Canyon team lost to Dripping Springs, which allowed for the Tigers to move up in the all-time series. The Tigers have won 5 games. The Cougars have won 4 games all-time between these two teams. And as you mentioned, early on in the slate for the Canyon Cougars, despite where they're at right now with this 1-2 record, they played some tough teams and had some good outputs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their record is not necessarily indicative of how good of a ball club they are. I mean, all 3 of their non-district opponents were 6A, many of them coming from some of the toughest districts in the area. They got a win against, come from behind win against Clark, who last night played a Thursday night game against Brandeis and took them down to the wire. And Brandeis is considered probably a top 5 team in the San Antonio area. And then last week, they had a narrow loss to New Braunfels, and we saw what New Braunfels did last night. They knocked off Judson, and so even though the record's 1-2, they've been playing some really good teams, and they've hung in with those guys. And so, like I said, 1-2 is not necessarily indicative of how good a ball club this Canyon Cougar team is.
And of course, they went 10-2 last year with the co-district championship versus Dripping Springs, and switching now to the Tigers. They're 3-0 on the year, and they really score the football well.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, they're undefeated. Beat Kerrville, Tybee, Hayes, and Lockhart, and meanwhile, they're averaging 54 points a game. And so when you got an offense that explosive, you're not necessarily going to shut them down or shut them out. You just hope to be able to limit their number of big plays and make them drive the football and make them earn it, as opposed to giving up those big explosive plays.
And so now Javier Ortega will kick the ball away for Dripping Springs. Back to receive is John Albrock, as well as Xavier Nolan, 2 wide receivers. District play is upon us here in District 12 5A. And we are off. A short kick into no man's land, bounces, and it could be Dripping Springs football. Have to wait and see.
Looks like Canyon was able to recover that. Dripping Springs went with a bloop kick. Not a whole lot of wind tonight, but the kicker did a great job of kind of dropping it in that zone between the first and second layer right there. And a little miscommunication, and Canyon was fortunate that took a good bounce right up into the arms of a Canyon Cougar.
Tight end Mark Villanueva picked things up. Now Canyon in these crispy black jerseys with red pants. Get ready to go here to start off district play. Dripping Springs in the gray jerseys with maroon bottoms. Starting quarterback Drew Berry has a man come in motion. Play action on the first play, right down the seam, and a catch by John Albrock.
A great play there. They brought a guy in fly sweep motion just to try to get the eyes of the linebackers and the safeties moving a little bit. Then they were able to slip out their fullback up the seam.
So a quick first down now. 3 men to that left side. And at running back, receiving it, and then the ball's thrown off to the left side. Another nice throw. Eli Adams makes a grab down the sidelines. He goes. He's pushed out of bounds into Tigers territory. So 2 quick passing plays for Canyon.
Yeah, a little RPO there. Had 3 wide receivers to the top, and they just ran a little bubble screen to the inside guy. Anytime you do that, you want to try to get 4 or 5 yards and stay on schedule, and they did exactly that, picking up 5, and so now they got a second manageable.
Second down and 5 from the 49-yard line in Dripping Springs territory. The first run is to Bibbins, and Bibbins runs through a defender and shows off his strength, going right inside the 40-yard line to about the 38.
Yeah, great run there. Pretty much the exact same formation and almost the same play as last time, except for Dripping Springs walked a linebacker out there to stop that bubble screen. So now Canyon knew they had numbers in the box, so they just handed it off to Bibbins, and he did a great job sticking his foot in the ground and getting north and south.
12-yard pickup makes it first down and 10 from the 37-yard line. Bibbins again around the right, and he's crunched as he falls forward for maybe about 5 yards once again. As you mentioned, staying on schedule, everything has been plus for Canyon up to this point.
Absolutely. Anytime you can get 3 or 4 yards on first down really opens up your playbook on second down, and you're not fighting to try to get back, on schedule. And so second down and medium, you're really the whole playbook is open. You can take a shot, or you can try to get it to third and short. Let's see what they do here in an empty set.
On second down and 6, Barry slings it out of bounds, looking for E.J. Garcia, and coverage on the play by Luca Pechucci.
You know, that ball was a little bit overthrown, but it's not necessarily a bad throw. Defense had real good coverage on it. He was in the back hip pocket of that little speed out cut right there, and you definitely don't want to leave that ball inside. If he does, the defender's got a good chance to undercut it. So that's a put it there or put it nowhere.
Xavier Nolan comes in motion. Screen is not there for Canyon. It goes to fourth down for the Cougars. No man's land for Canyon, and it looks like they might go for it.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those situations. I think on the 33-yard line here, probably a little bit too far for your kicker. That's about a 50-yarder for your kicker. And then, if you punt it and it goes into the end zone, you only gain about 13 yards worth of field position. So Coach Bush is going to go for it here on about 4th and 6.
15 seconds on the play clock, under center, and now stepping back is Barry. 10 minutes to play here in this first quarter. No score, first possession for Canyon. Going for it. Deep throw to the end zone, and a diving catch missed out on. Xavier Nolan had a shot. It was a little bit out in front of him. He could not make the grab, and it's a turnover on downs for Canyon.
Yeah, single receiver down here, had one-on-one and had a step on him. Just a hair overthrown, and receiver barely got a hand on it. But that was a good opportunity there, and taking a shot, and they had a good chance at it. But pretty good drive for Canyon starting off. They flipped the field a little bit, got a few first downs under their belt, able to come over and talk to the coaches now, make a few adjustments, and now we'll see Dripping Springs on offense for the first time.
Austin Novosad hands off to Preston Alford, and Alford gains maybe 2 yards on first down around that right side. Alford very, very good. Comes in today averaging 18 yards per carry. Has more than 450 yards on the season. Did not even play last week, so he's back in action for Dripping Springs. Second down and 8. Novosad takes the snap, throws on a swing pass to Alford, and Alford finds his way through for a first down across the 45 to about the 47.
And we kind of talked about it before the game a little bit. This is a very explosive Dripping Springs offense. They're averaging 54 points a game, and so, you can't hope to shut them down entirely. You just got to make them earn it and try to limit the big plays.
After a 12-yard pickup, Alford goes out. Luke Hudson comes in. He took most of the carries last week with Alford not playing. First down and 10 from the 47. Novosad slings it to the left, spinning and churning forward to the 50. A nice catch made by Kyle Cook.
A great pursuit by the linebacker there, Kono Hyatt from Canyon. Threw a little screen out to a wide receiver, and he rallied from his linebacker position to make the first hit and limit it to a minimal gain.
Cook by himself on this left side. That's where the look is. Cook has it down the sidelines. He will not be caught. Touchdown.
Yeah, they got a solo coverage over here. They had maybe even 4 wide receivers up top. Might have been an empty set, and they had all 4 up top. Single receiver down here, and the quarterback knew he had one-on-one. Great move off the line by the Dripping Springs receiver, and the quarterback laid it out there for him, and there's that explosive play we were talking about.
Just like that, Dripping Springs is on the board, 6-0. Ortega to kick and check that. Walker Wright, the wide receiver, will kick the extra point. Snap is back, hold is down, and the kick is up and good. So Dripping Springs takes the first lead of tonight, 7-0. We'll take a break here on the Canyon Cougars Sports Network. Ortega kicks off once again. This short kick, Villanueva calls for it at the 35-yard line. And once again, the short kick does not find gold, but it gives Canyon great field position to start. Dripping Springs is a very good offensive team. They led this district last year in points per game. They already are scoring 54 points per game, and they had a big play from about the 47-yard line for that first touchdown.
Yeah, they're doing a real good job right now. They got a bunch of athletes and spreading them out and letting those guys try to win one-on-one matchups. And, we'll see how the Canyon defense adjusts, but, it's a long game, and I'm sure they're over there and making some adjustments, try to get some help on those solo coverages.
Deuce Adams throws on that same seam route, and John Albrock has a similar result. So Canyon goes back to the well, the same play they started their last drive with. They started here, and the same result into Dripping Springs territory at the 48-yard line.
Great throw by the quarterback. Hit that little bender route over the middle in stride. That's so important to get it on time so it doesn't get into the backside safety.
Deuce Adams hands off to Cameron Bibbins, and Bibbins, like a pinball around behind the line, goes upfield and is tackled inside the 45 at about the 42.
Great tough run by Bibbins there. He's not the tallest guy, but that doesn't mean he's small. He's a very powerful runner, and he could run between the tackles, and he showed a physical run right there.
So Deuce Adams in at quarterback, slings it to the left. Wide open is Xavier Nolan. Nolan tries to make a move in space, but a very good open field tackle out there on the outside by Shell Hudson.
Yeah, it's about second or third time they've run that little bubble screen out there, and safety's playing deep, trying not to get beat over the top. So if your outside receiver can block that corner, then you're going to have some space to catch and hit that seam and get you 7 or 8 yards.
It's a 12-yard pickup and very similar space to their last drive. Canyon is closing in on Dripping Springs red zone territory. Now Adams has plenty of time. Adams will take off and run, but he's brought down in the backfield. Could not make a move, and another very good open field tackle by a Tiger, Luca Picucci, with the stop.
Yeah, Canyon's down in that territory again where they were in that first drive. Got a few first downs and then get around that 30-yard line. The field tightens up a little bit, and we'll see what they do here to try to get some points on the board.
On second down and 12, it's a draw to Bibbins. Can't spin out of a tackle. Picucci is there once again for another tackle for loss, and it's third down and long for Canyon.
Yeah, the Canyon ran what we call GT, a guard tackle, both pulling on the counter. And the defensive end, outside linebacker for Dripping Springs, did a real good job of coming in and blowing that up and getting underneath it and trying to forcing the back outside instead of sticking his foot and getting north and south.
So Adams at quarterback, Bibbins to his left, third down and long. It's a long 11. They go down the sidelines, finding the football, but hit in the end zone, unable to reel it in, was Eli Adams.
Again, got that one-on-one coverage, kind of the same thing. They took a shot on that last fourth down last series. A little bit of hand fighting there right when the ball was there. Had it in his hands, and Dripping Springs defender was able to kind of knock it out of his hands on the way down. But they're going to have that one-on-one matchup most of the night, and so one of these times they're going to connect on it, and it's going to be a big play for them.
James Sobervilla jarred the ball loose. But this is a carbon copy of the first drive. Once again on 4th down. This is a 4th down and 11. Adams sends out 4 wide and has the snap. Plenty of time. Adams rolls and then lofts it long, incomplete. John Albrock was the intended wide receiver, but another turnover on downs for the Cougars on their second possession.
Yeah, anytime you get down deep into opponent's territory, it's always tougher because defenses tighten up just a little bit because they don't have to defend as much field. And, second series in a row that Canyon's done a great job in getting 2, 3, 4 first downs and getting deep into territory. And, it'll start paying off here as the game goes on.
But Dripping Springs, a high-powered offense back on the field with 6:07 to play in the first quarter. Their second possession. Novastad hands off to Alford, and Alford trying to break loose. Would not let him go, Justin Lakua, but Alford gains about 10 yards on the play.
Looks like we're going to have another 15 added on to it. It looks like got a face mask. A Canyon defender got his hands up around the face of the running back there, so it looks like we're going to add on another 15 yards.
That is the call. Lakua trying to bring down Alford from behind. Got a bit of the hardware, and you do not want to give this Dripping Springs team any extra yardage. That takes them into Cougar territory. They scored on their last drive, a 47-yard touchdown pass to Kyle Cook. And right now, Cook is by himself once again on this left side. On play action, going to Cook once again. He makes another grab and then drops it. He had it and then lost it. Second down.
It's that same one-on-one matchup that they scored on the first drive, and another great ball by the quarterback. Offensive guy may have extended that arm just a little bit as the ball was getting there to create some separation, but he wasn't able to bring that one down, and the corner did a good job. He was right in his hip pocket and had good coverage on him.
Luke Hudson comes in again at running back. Had 19 carries last week for 163 yards and a touchdown, spelling Preston Alford. Gets the give. Hudson lowers his shoulder and gains yards across the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, it looked like it was one of those RPOs, whether it was a pre-snap or post-snap, I'm not sure, by the quarterback, but had some sort of some short routes going on up top, and then right before the snap, Canyon walked their defenders down, and so quarterback did a good job of seeing it and just handed it off as opposed to pulling it and trying to throw it into that press coverage. So now we got a 3rd and long. See if Canyon can get off the field here.
Only gave him 4 yards, so it's 3rd down and 6 from the 41. Novastad has the snap. Looking left initially. Now a rifle over the middle and a beautiful throw and catch. Walker right with the reception, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, anytime you're going to run a play like that, you got to have good protection up front. It's a longer developing route, a little dig route across the middle of the field. Quarterback had a lot of time there and was able to throw a strike on a dig for a big 1st down. Looks like we got an injury here. Hopefully find out it's not a bad one.
So 2 injured players right now for Canyon. So we'll take a quick break and be back as the injured players are tended to on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Want to welcome you back to Cougar Stadium. The injured players were Kono Hyatt and Luke Elliott. Both walked off under their own power, which is great to see. It's now 1st down and 10 from the 28-yard line in Canyon territory. 4:50 to play in the first quarter. A late give and dashing off the left side, making a move and sprinting into the end zone, John Albrock. Another touchdown for Dripping Springs.
A little draw play there. Quarterback raised up like he was going to throw one of those quick routes like he's been doing. Moved the linebackers just a little bit, and then he kind of turned back around and gave it on a delayed draw to the running back, and he had a crease, and we know how explosive he is when he gets into the open field.
So John Albrock already has a catch here today and now has a touchdown to his credit. 2 explosive plays, 4 touchdowns, and those explosive plays are, of course, 25-plus yards. And so Walker Wright kicks the extra point, and it's 14-0 Canyon down here at home in the district opener to Dripping Springs on the Canyons Cougar Sports Network. Javier Ortega approaches the football. Another short kick angled off to the right side. This one bounces. It looks like it hits a Canyon Cougar, and it's recovered by Dripping Springs. So 3rd time's the charm for that short kick, and an adjustment was made by Ortega. He had been kicking it a little bit farther, close to the 40-yard line. It looked like he took a bit off of that one, and it was exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, a little bloop kick. You saw in the first one of the game, the ball hit the ground, and Canyon was fortunate that it bounced up, and they were able to recover. This time, man, it's a great kick. I mean, and there's not much risk to it. A lot of people might call that, an onside kick, but it's really not, because even if the guy fair catches it, he's going to catch it about the 30-yard line. That's only a 5-yard difference from what a normal fair catch would be, and now the reward is big, obviously, something like this.
Noah Lawyer comes in motion. Novosad has it off the snap. Slings it to the left side. A nice hands catch. Still on his feet. Down the sidelines. Runs over another man and in. And is he called just short? Stopped at the 2. And so what a huge turn of events for Dripping Springs.
Looks like that was number 8 for Dripping Springs, Garen Duncan. I mean, he caught that ball, and then he separated himself, showed a little explosiveness there, and got it all the way down to about the 3-yard line.
So Luke Hudson in at running back, receives the handoff, but he stopped short of the first down. And thanks for having my back, partner. Garen Duncan, just a junior, but one of the lower men on the depth chart, but when your number's called, got to make a play.
Yeah, and it was an impressive throw by that quarterback, too. He's kind of looking and throwing back to his left and having to lead him on about a 25-yard crossing route. It's a heck of a throw.
2nd down and goal from the 3. Back shoulder throw and a reception for a touchdown. Touchdown by Kyle Cook. And Kyle Cook has all 4 receiving touchdowns this season for Dripping Springs. When you need a play down on the goal line, Cook is your man. And he chefs up another one. 20-0 the score right now.
Yeah, Cook just a sophomore, but obviously very explosive player. And, that back shoulder fade down by the goal line, especially when it's the quarterback throws it kind of on a line. That was really good coverage by the Canyon corner, but there's not much you can do about that back shoulder fade if it's thrown on time and accurately.
And so the score line stands at 21-0. Canyon down here with 3:53 to play in the first quarter here in the district opener on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan in New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Well, an offensive avalanche to begin the game for Dripping Springs. They lead 21-0 on top of the Canyon Cougars here at Cougar Stadium. District opener in District 12-5A, and Javier Ortega will kick off once again. This time a more conventional kick long, and it will be returned. So Xavier Nolan tries to find a seam, and he stopped at about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, that time they elected to kick it deep, and the first 3 times they'd done the little short one, so maybe they thought Canyon was playing towards that a little bit and expecting that, so they kicked it deep, and they hustled down there and made a tackle inside the 20-yard line. So it's a long field for Canyon.
The Cougars on their first 3 plays have all been positive plays on their last 2 drives, but they have stopped near the 30-yard line once they made their way into Dripping Springs territory. Now have to start a little bit farther.
Yeah, and Canyon's offense has been doing great. I mean, they've gotten 3 or 4 first downs. Really, they've only had 2 possessions, and both of them they've gained, 3 or 4 first downs before eventually getting stopped inside almost the red zone.
On first down and 10, a run for the Cougars, maybe to about the 16-yard line. So a 1-yard pickup, give them no gain for Bibbins. Cougars split out 5 wide, have just sputtered once they've gotten into Dripping Springs territory. Now on second down and 10. Eluding a sack, and Barry goes up the middle to about the 24-yard line.
Good job there by Drew Barry. Dripping Springs had some pretty good coverage. Instead of trying to force it, he tucked it down, made a guy miss, and then ran up the middle to make it third and manageable. 3rd and 4 is 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 is a lot better than 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12 taking that sack, and so now you can do a little bit more things on 3rd down here.
0-2 on 3rd down here today. It's a 3rd down and 4 on this out route. A strong catch is made by John Albrock. Coverage out there was Derek Edgar, but Albrock boxed him out and brought it in.
It was really good coverage. Had him right in his hip pocket. Great throw by the quarterback, and like you mentioned, went up with strong hands and got that down for a big first down. Getting that first down to get the drive going and not going 3 and out after a big offensive series by Dripping Springs.
This same seam route, and Albrock is all over it once again. Has to be his favorite play in practice.
Yeah, I mean it's they're doing it from different formations too. So it's not necessarily the same play over and over, even though the end results may end up the same. But they're finding Coach Bush and his offensive staff are finding creative ways to get Albright over the middle into that soft spot of the coverage, and the quarterback's doing a really good job putting just enough touch to get over the linebackers, but not too much to where safety can get to the ball before it arrives.
First down and 10 from the Dripping Springs 49. Bibbins bounces outside and bangs forward for maybe about 5 yards to the 44-yard line.
Again, staying on schedule. Positive play on first down. Cutting the chains in half, 2nd and 5. Now you can either take a shot or you can run something short to either get a first down or make it 3rd and short. So
Jacob Alcorta comes in at running back. Tight end on the left side of the line, but it's a quick throw to the right. Eli Adams on the screen. Adams sneaks forward to about the 39-yard line.
Good decision by the quarterback there. They had 3 receivers down here in kind of a bunch set, and Dripping Springs only had two defenders within 10 yards. They had a deep safety playing over the top, but you like those numbers as a quarterback. You got 2 blockers for 2 defenders, so you can throw it out there, and you know that the one guy who's unblocked is coming from 12 yards deep, and you're probably going to pick up that first down, which they did.
First down and 10 off the 5-yard pickup by Eli Adams. 58 seconds left in the first quarter. Currently, Cougars down 21-0. Alcorta stays in at running back. Eluding the pocket now. And on his feet, Barry slides forward for a first down at the 24. A 15-yard pickup.
Again, great job by him. They release the back out of the backfield, so essentially you're getting five out into the route. Dripping Springs is dropping everybody into coverage, so everybody's covered, so he doesn't force anything. He steps up there and scrambles himself and gets a first down.
Best field position up to this point from the 25. Quick throw to the right once again. It's Adams, 20. Adams crunches forward to about the 11. So another bubble screen, and the result is beautiful for the Cougars into the red zone.
Same thing. They got 3 wide receivers up there and only 2 defenders. So you got 2 blockers for 2 defenders, and the one guy who's not blocked is the deep safety sitting 15 yards deep. So, they're going to be taking that all night until Dripping Springs makes an adjustment. Good job by the quarterback seeing that.
14-yard pickup, first down and 10 from the 11-yard line, and Eli Adams just drops this one. Had the same motion, the same look on the opposite side of the field, but could not catch it. And we're off to quarter number 2. So the two teams will switch sides, and Canyon will look for its first touchdown of the day on the other side on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
When the leaves begin to fall, unfortunately, seasonal illnesses and the flu bug begin to rise. That's why our board-certified physicians are always close by, ready and willing to handle all of your emergency needs. Visit our beautiful facility today, located at 1860 South Seguin Avenue, Suite 400, New Braunfels, Texas. We're always here, ready and willing to provide you with the best options in acute care.
We help.
Welcome back to the second quarter. Canyon is on the move. They're down 21-0. We start the second quarter, their first possession, and Drew Berry awaits the football. Second down and 10 from the 11-yard line. The hand is to Bibbins, and he tries to navigate off left guard, but 3 different Tigers there to take him down. Third down and long for Canyon.
Yeah, you just feel like Canyon needs to get some points on the board with this drive. They've had 2 drives. This is only the 3rd drive. They had a turnover on the kickoff, and so this is only Canyon's 3rd drive of the game, if I'm not mistaken. And both of them, they've gotten down inside opponent's 30-yard line and hadn't been able to get any points. So they need to get some points here to kind of get momentum back on their side a little bit.
Third down and 8. Berry going the wrong way. Flag comes in. Another flag comes in. Berry goes to the turf, and we'll have the call from our referee, Wayne Elliott, but not looking good for the Cougars right now.
They might have grabbed his face mask whenever they were sacking him. It's either that or a real late hold, but it looks like it's going to benefit Canyon and get an automatic first down with a face mask here.
So the laundry in favor of the Cougars. A face mask going on Dripping Springs, which makes it first down and goal, half the distance, and Canyon poised for their first points of the day. Dripping Springs scored on their first 2 possessions after forcing turnovers on downs by Canyon, and then had a short kick that they recovered and scored a touchdown on that drive. Those are their 3 scoring drives. They lead 21-0, 45 seconds gone here in this second quarter. Drew Berry takes the snap, hands off to Bibbins, and Bibbins cycles through, still on his feet, no signal yet, and he is just short.
Yeah, Canyon brought in their heavy package that time, which means a tight end came out of the game and an extra offensive lineman came in. So they had a 3-man surface on the right side with all 3 linemen and a fullback to that side. And so most of the time when you bring that guy in, it's for a reason. They ran right behind him, and they were able to push the pile and get down to the 1-yard line.
Second down and goal from the 1 after that 4-yard pickup by Bibbins. And Coach Nate Leonard spoke very highly about his offensive line coming into this season, said that they were the strength of the team last year. And now a heavy formation, goal line. Berry under center, Hands off to the up man, and it's a touchdown.
Great movement by the offensive line there. You mentioned Coach Leonard. Speaking highly of those guys, if I know anything about Coach Leonard, he's going to have those guys playing hard and playing fast, and they showed it there. They got great push on that little fullback belly.
So the touchdown goes to Daniel Perez. So he comes in as a defensive lineman, it looks like, and comes in for the rushing touchdown. There's flags on the play, and we'll have the call once again.
There's a little movement up there. I'm not sure whether it's a false start or whether Dripping Springs jumped to cause the false start, but there was some movement up there.
Play was blown dead, so
Dripping Springs jumped in the neutral zone, causing Canyon to flinch a little bit. But if they get in the neutral zone and it causes the offensive guys, as long as they cross that line of scrimmage, it's going to be on the defense. So now they'll get another try at it, just about a yard and a half closer.
Austin Davison, the place kicker. Snap is back, hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. So we'll take a break. Canyon is on the board, 21-7, here on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Well, the Cougars score their first points of the contest. They're down 21-7 with 10.5 to play here in the first half. James Hadnot here with you, Brian Hill with me, former Texas State quarterback and a coach here in these parts. Won't give up where he was coaching because some fans may not want to know that, but
well,
right.
Well, I think you're overstating the play. Texas State quarterback. I was on the team, didn't play a whole lot, so but I was privileged to be a part of it. Had many good years in San Marcos there.
So Dripping Springs on the return, makes their way down to the 19-yard line. Listen, if if your name is on the roster, you're on the team. That's what I'm telling anybody that asks.
Well, I appreciate that. And Coach Bush, actually the head coach at Canyon, he was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach there at Texas State for two or 3 years during my time there. From there, he went on to UTSA to start that football program. But he was my position coach and offensive coordinator when I played there. So I've known Coach Bush for a long time, and he's an outstanding coach and an even better man.
Well, needed that big drive there and had his team execute. They're down 21-7, 10.5 to play in the first half. Hand off to Preston Alford, and he has space. Alford, a speeding bullet just outside the 35-yard line is where he stopped at about the 34, but on first down, 15 yards picked up.
Yeah, Dripping Springs doing a real good job right now, spreading things out, and you've got to honor those short passes and things like that they've been able to complete early in the game, and so you're spreading the defense out, and numbers are good for inside the box, and so when they hand the ball off, they're having success too.
First down and 10 from the 34-yard line. Novosad has the snap. Looking, throws to the right side, and it's intercepted. Huge interception by Luke Elliott, and that was an adjustment made by Canyon.
Yeah, it was. That's the type of play you need. Your offense went out there and got a touchdown, and so now you need to come out and make a big stop or create a turnover, keep the momentum going, and that's exactly what they did. And I think Dripping Springs was a little bit confused on that play. Quarterback kind of rolled out, but the offensive linemen were kind of all downfield, maybe expecting either a run or a screen of some kind, and quarterback threw it up over the top, and the safety came over and made a play. But even if he hadn't picked it off, I don't know if that play would have counted. Dripping Springs had about two or three offensive linemen downfield on that. It looked like it was a little bit of confusion.
Well, the interception by Luke Elliott gives Canyon the football with more momentum, and they're down 21-7. 9:51 to play here in the first half. From the shotgun, Berry awaits the snap. Drew Berry plenty of time. Lofts it to the middle, and almost an interception for Dripping Springs. Coverage on the play by Shell Hudson, incomplete.
It's a good play by Hudson there, the Dripping Springs defensive back. He kind of played soft coverage, and once the ball was in the air, broke on it and undercut it a little bit. Almost came up with the pick, but that's Canyon trying to go for a big play right after a turnover, trying to keep that momentum going. But now it's 2nd and long. They need to try to do something to at least cut it in half and make it 3rd and manageable.
Bibbins at running back has shown strength on the ground here today, and Eli Adams is by himself on this left side. Barry orchestrating the offense, changes the play, and sends Bibbins to this left side. Throws a screen to Albrock, grows up, grabs it, and Albrock stopped outside the 45 at the 43.
Dripping Springs made a little bit of an adjustment there. We talked about it last drive. Anytime Canyon had 3 wide receivers, they were kind of playing 3 over 2 with a safety deep. That time, Canyon had 3 wide receivers up to the top, and all 3 of the DBs were less than about 8 yards or less to try to take away some of those easy throws that they gave up last drive.
So on 3rd down and 8, just 3 men come on the rush. Barry exits, throws an interception. And so Barry looked like he was going to take off and run, but he throws the pick to Luca Picucci. He's been all over the place in the backfield, now makes a play in the secondary, and the momentum shifts right back to Dripping Springs.
Yeah, tough play there for the quarterback. I mean, they're in an empty set and don't really have anything initially, and he pulled it down. Looked like he was going to pull it down and try to take off running like he had done a couple times to pick up some big first downs. Saw his receiver flash in front of his face, but kind of rolling to your right and trying to throw a ball back across the middle is always a little bit dangerous, and good job by the Dripping Springs guy, following quarterback's eyes and making a big play.
So Austin Novosad back in the saddle from the 43-yard line on 1st down, and he hands it off, and maybe a yard for Preston Alford on 1st down.
Good job by Canyon's defense. Dripping Springs ran either a power play or a GT. Saw some pullers in there, and they kind of spilled the front side, made the running back kind of cut to the backside, and they had a backside defensive end and a scraping linebacker there, so to keep him to a short gain of 1.
2nd down and 8 from the 42-yard line in Canyon territory. Novosad slings it to the left, a hands catch over there on that left side, and a nice play in space. Walker Wright made the catch. 2 different Cougars were there to bring him down, but a nice gain to make it 3rd down and short.
Yeah, 3rd down and short at about the 33, 34-yard line. You got to be thinking Dripping Springs is thinking 4-down territory here. So you can do one of 2 things. Just maybe hand it off and try to get the first down, or you can take a shot knowing that you probably have another down to try to get a first down. Canyon looks like they're going to bring some pressure.
A-gap pressure looming for the Cougars. Preston Alford is the running back. He gains 15 yards per carry. Not a bad option. He is the option. Alford around the left side. Wrangled at the 30. Tackle made by Aiden McCoomfus, but a first down picked up nonetheless by the Tigers.
Yeah, Canyon brought some pressure up the middle, and I think the play was originally designed to go up the middle, but Canyon brought that pressure, and running back did a good job of bouncing things to the outside, just enough to pick up a first down. Now they're inside the 30-yard line. This is where they have been taking that one-on-one matchup and trying to throw a fade route or a deep ball to the single receiver. So let's see if they do that here.
Single receivers on that left side. Novosad looking right, throws to the middle, caught by Wright, has space, Wright to the 10, and Wright pushed out of bounds inside the 5. Tackle made by James Sobervilla, but Dripping Springs knocking on the door once again, looking to go up by 3 scores. 7:12 to play here in the first half.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Dripping Springs quarterback, Austin Novosad. On that particular play, drop back, his first option wasn't there, and you saw his eyes shift, you saw his feet shift, and he hit his second option, little dig route coming over the middle. So he's poised in that pocket, and he's delivering some strikes. I'm pretty impressed with him.
Alford gets it and shooting through the gap for a tackle for loss, Kono Hyatt.
Good to see him back on the field. He was one of the ones that had been injured early in the game, got off on his own power. He's feeling better now, and he did a great job of shooting that A-gap on an outside zone play and kind of back-fitting it, and was able to get a big tackle for loss.
So it makes it 2nd down and goal outside the 5 at the 8-yard line. Novosad's defender falls down, so he goes to his second option in the back of the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Walker Wright, the first player not named Kyle Cook to score a touchdown through the air, and Wright, who's played well today, has the TD, and it's now 27-7. Dripping Springs in front.
There was a flag on the play, but it looks like it's going to go against Canyon. They called a hold, so I think the cornerback up top might have grabbed onto the receiver, and that's where the quarterback was looking originally, and looked like a hold was going on there. So again, he did a great job of finding a second option. He was able to find a receiver, kind of running across the route in the back edge of the end zone, and delivered a great ball. Again, good coverage, great ball.
So right after his touchdown reception, kicks the extra point, and with 6.5 to play here in the first half, Dripping Springs retakes a 3-score lead, 28-7 here on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Well, the Tigers keep on chugging along on offense. 28-7, Dripping Springs leads Canyon here with 6.5 to play in the first half. And the Cougars, after scoring their first touchdown, just allowed that last one. Here, the short kick once again, waving his hands and making a catch just outside the 40 at the 39 was Eli Adams. So good field position once again for Canyon, but we spoke very highly about Austin Novosad, and even with his main wide receiver on the turf, still went through his progressions and found a touchdown recipient. Quarterback for Canyon throws a strike off the right side to Eli Adams, and Adams with a first down reception into Dripping Springs territory.
You had 3 wide receivers up to the top and 2 defenders over the outside 2 guys, no one really on the inside guy, and so they just ran a little 5-yard stop route by their innermost guy, and quarterback recognized it, reared up and threw it real quick, and he had some space, and again, got a good drive starter, first down.
13 yards picked up on first down. Adams on the design quarterback run just dips forward back at the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard. Around him was Bryson Armine, second down.
Yeah, tried to fake to the running back going the other way. It was a design quarterback counter back the other way, trying to get the linebacker's eyes to follow the running back, but the Dripping Springs did a good job of seeing the pullers and played that pretty well. Second and long here.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10. Adams with a 5-step drop. Reels it, and it's almost intercepted through the hands of Eli Adams. On the other end was Shell Hudson, who already has an INT here today. It's third down.
Good route. Ran what we call kind of a post corner. Ran up about 5 steps and then ran 3 steps like he's running the post, and then he kind of bent it out towards the sideline. Pretty good throw by the quarterback. A little high. But good route and good ball, just wasn't able to hang on to it. So now we got third and long.
Flags fly on third down and 10, and it's a false start on Canyon. So third down and 10, thirds into third down and 15. And the Cougars, once again, in a troublesome situation, just have 1 third down conversion here today, and now have third down and 15 to deal with from their own 46. 5.5 to play here in the first half. Canyon down by 3 scores. Adams has it, spins out, and now finds some space. Floats it over. Bibbins makes a grab on the right side, takes a humongous hit, but it's a first down to the 35.
Great job by the quarterback, Deuce Adams there, and also Bibbins. Not the original route that he was supposed to run was not there, but Deuce created some space by evading a defender, and Bibbins did a great job on scramble drill and ran down the sideline. Great touch on the ball, and big play right there. Big play on third and long.
Adams keeps on first down and 10. Adams slips through down the sidelines and in. Deuce Adams shows off the speed. Touchdown, Canyon.
Great play design by the offensive staff there. It kind of a read play. Quarterback's reading the end. The end crashed down on the running back, and the quarterback pulled it and made a safety miss, and an explosive play there.
Answering the touchdown drive by Dripping Springs, Canyon makes this a 2-score game, and the extra point is good as well. 28-14 with 5:16 to play here in the first half. You're listening to Canyon Cougars football on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Back and forth these two teams go. It's 28-14. Down by 2 scores now is Canyon here at home in the district opener. And this is an important drive right now on defense for the Cougars. Just got a touchdown. Dripping Springs will get the ball to begin the second half. Now, they've scored very quickly this entire game, but defensively, a huge drive here for the Cougars.
Absolutely. I mean, played well at times, but then Dripping Springs, with all their weapons, has had some explosive plays. If they can get a stop here and get the ball back and maybe get one more score before half and make it a one-possession game, I would call that a win after the way that the game started. And it's a good start right here, tackling them inside the 20-yard line at about the 15.
Jesse Camarillo with the stop to begin the drive. First down and 10 now for the Dripping Springs Tigers. Austin Novosad on the day has been fantastic. Has a couple passing touchdowns, 1 to Walker Wright and 2 to Kyle Cook. 28-14 is the score with 5:11 to play here in the first half. Pressure looming. 7 seconds on the play clock. Novosad has the snap on play action. Goes deep down the right side and overthrows his intended wide receiver. Garin Duncan was the intended wide receiver. Second down.
Yeah, and Canyon, they're staying committed to kind of stopping the run. They're keeping a lot of guys committed to the box, and even though they've given up a few pass plays here, they're trusting those corners out there and some one-on-one coverage. That another one-on-one throw there. Good coverage by the corner and just a little bit of an overthrow.
Right now, no one's on the second wide receiver on this left side. Throw goes right to him, and he's tackled at the 22-yard line. Jumping up and down was James Sobervilla. He said, there's one man over here that I can't cover. There's 2 guys. I can only cover one. And recognizing it and making the throw immediately was Novosad. Right now there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, like you said, great job by the quarterback of noticing that there's a little confusion in the secondary. I don't know whether that was the play call already or whether he did a side adjustment, but he threw it. But it's going to be another 15 yards tacked onto the end of it by Canyon. It looks like number 50, Garrett Thaley, may have come in over the pile a little bit late on an unsportsmanlike late hit.
And so a tough call there. Noah Lawyer made that catch, his first catch of the day. And it's a 15-yard penalty. Takes the ball outside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 4:55 and counting to play in the first half. Canyon down 28-14. 5 wide once again. Novosad throws one deep. And Duncan, once again, can't make a catch. Ball was over his head. And the entire crowd here on this near side, the Canyon faithful, yelling for a flag, and they might get their wish.
Yeah, there's that same play they scored on that first series. They put 4 wide receivers to the top and had single cover to the solo down here. Looks like the receiver, number 8, Garin Duncan, for them had a little bit of a push-off and they're going to call offensive pass interference here.
So those 15 yards that were given up now back in the wrong direction for Dripping Springs, and they have a long way to go. This is second down in San Antonio. Ball placed outside the 25. at the 24-yard line. So first down and 25. Novosad has an extra tight end behind the right tackle on a play action. This throw and a diving catch by Duncan right outside the 40-yard line at about the 36.
Again, great throw by the quarterback. Good coverage again, but quarterback is throwing it on time. That ball was already out of his hand, and the receiver hadn't even turned around yet, wasn't even out of his break. And, great reaction by Duncan there. He got his head around. The ball was on him pretty quick and low, and he was able to get down there and get it and make the catch on a tough ball.
12-yard pickup on first down and 25 makes it second down and 13. Two-man shift in motion out of the backfield. Novosad takes the snap. Looking deep. Big throw. Wide open and an overhead catch made. A shoestring tackle here on this near side by Iden McCumfitz, but Boston Papp, his first reception of the day, goes for big yards.
Yeah, they put a little window dressing on it, before the play, shifting a bunch of guys, made the defense maybe get their eyes off and just have a split-second hesitation on what their assignments were. They leaked a guy out of the backfield on kind of a rail and still covered it pretty good. But, again, another great throw right over the top and a great catch for an explosive play.
First down from the 18. Novosad over the middle to Papp and can't reel this one in. Was wide open. Might have walked in for a touchdown if he brought it in, but Novosad was facing heavy pressure right up the middle by Hylett.
It's a good job. It was one of the first times that you've seen Dripping Springs quarterback Novosad have to retreat and not be able to throw on rhythm. He was kind of backing up because he had pressure in his face, caused the ball to be just a little bit high. And so if Canyon can keep doing that and getting some pressure on the quarterback, make him a little bit uncomfortable like they did there, have a lot more success.
Walker Wright goes in motion. The give is to Alford, and Alford stopped in the middle. So Alford has maybe one or two big runs here today, but we haven't saved his name a lot, although he averaged about 15 yards per carry, has 9 touchdowns coming into today. But Kane has, like you said, committed to stopping the run, have given up some plays on the outside, but Alford is the main one in the scouting report.
Yeah, Kane's keeping their 4-down linemen and keeping some guys committed to the box and making them try to beat them throwing the ball down the field. And so it's a big 3rd and 10. This could be a big stop, at least try to hold them to a field goal here for Canyon's defense, keep that momentum going a little bit.
In the red zone, Dripping Springs changes the play.
Dripping Springs better call timeout. Yep. Play clock was running down.
Spoken like a true coach, seeing that play clock running down, timeout called up here in the booth, and it's called down on the field by Coach Zimmerman. So we'll step aside as well. 2:47 to play, 28-14. Canyon down to Dripping Springs, but a big 3rd down on the other side on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network. It's 3rd down and 10 from the 18-yard line in Cougar territory. Novosad takes the snap, throws a fade to the end zone. A diving catch is made. Kyle Cook with his 3rd receiving touchdown on the day.
What a throw. What a throw. It was a similar pattern that Canyon had run early on, a post corner, fake like he was going to the post, and then broke it back out towards the corner of the end zone. And Novosad, he threw that ball before he even broke for the corner and just dropped it in a bucket. And, again, really good coverage, but a heck of a throw and a really good catch.
And so a huge back-breaking play. 35-14. Canyon now goes down by 3 scores, and Dripping Springs will get the ball to begin the second half. So still plenty of time here in this first half, 2:39 to play, and Canyon down 35-14. But the Cougars need one of those drives to at least get some points here on the other side of halftime.
Yeah, and they got plenty of time to do it. They got 2.5 minutes left and all 3 timeouts. Like you said, it'd be a real big momentum going into the locker room for halftime if they were able to get some points on the board here, even if it's just a field goal. In the half, on a good note, their last 2 series they've scored touchdowns after moving the ball well in their first 2 series, but not getting any points out of it. And so they really want to try to get something going here right before the half, so they can go into that locker room with 3 straight scoring drives and some momentum.
So back to receive, John Albrocht as well as Xavier Noland. Now Ortega has kicked the ball short multiple times here today. Dripping Springs has recovered just 1 of the 4 total attempts. Ortega has kicked long just once.
I guess he kicks it long here, yeah.
Does exactly that. Nolan will watch it bounce into the end zone. A touchback, and Canyon with 2:39 to play, 3 timeouts, down by 3 scores, back in action.
Yeah, he figured that they would probably kick it deep this time with only 2.5 minutes left. They don't want to kick one of those little bloop kicks, and if Canyon was able to fair catch it, then that only gives Canyon a 60-yard field as opposed to starting at the 25-yard line, having to go 75, and so they wanted to give him a little bit longer field with time getting short here in the half.
So Deuce Adams, who had the rushing touchdown on the last drive, back out at quarterback, takes the snap, and it's a run on a draw, and he's crunched outside the 30 at about the 26-yard line. 2 men team up for the tackle. That's Parker Cook and Luca Picucci, 2nd down and long.
Yes, quarterback draw there. Initially looked like he had some room to run, but Dripping Springs linebackers reacted very well and rallied to the football and held him to a short gain.
2nd down and 8. Adams to throw. Plenty of time. Adams rolls off to the right and slings it to that right side. Open was Nolan, but couldn't bring it in.
Again, great job of extending the play. His first read wasn't open and had good protection from the offensive line, so he was able to scramble out and made a really tough long throw on the run and hit his receiver in the hands and just wasn't able to hang on to it. So now we got a 3rd and long, and now you really want to get a first down here because you do not want to give the ball back to Dripping Springs with time left in the half.
4 men come, clean pocket for Adams, and then it disintegrates and he goes down. A sack by Dripping Springs. The tackle made in the backfield, and that's Parker Cook once again. So a huge defensive stop for Dripping Springs, trying to really shut the door here early on the Cougars.
Dripping Springs is going to use one of their timeouts here to try to stop the clock before forcing Canyon to punt so that they have as much time as they can have because they're thinking they want to go down and get one more before half. So with 1 minute and 47 seconds left, and they used their 2nd timeout. They got 1 left. They got plenty of time with that explosive offense to try to go down there and get some more points before halftime.
And Dripping Springs coming into this drive on offense has been pristine. Kyle Cook has 3 receiving touchdowns, and he's been everywhere for Dripping Springs.
I think this is the first time all night we've seen either team's punt unit. I think Dripping Springs has scored every drive, and Canyon has their first 2 drove it down and went for it on 4th down and didn't get it. So this is the first time either team's had to punt here in the first half.
Austin Davison to punt. High booming punt. Hudson drops it. He drops it, and it's recovered by Canyon.
Great punt. High. A lot of hang time. Let his guys get down there. Angled it very well to where the returner had to run and try to catch the ball on the run. And excellent punt and excellent coverage down there. And it was just a tough catch for that deep guy to get to, and wasn't able to secure it. And with the height of the ball and the carry of the ball, giving his guys time to get down there, there was a guy right there for Canyon able to jump on it. So now they've got a big opportunity here with 1 minute and 36 seconds left.
1st down and 10 from the 40-yard line in plus territory. Barry back at quarterback. Bibbins goes in motion. 5 wide. Barry looking for Bibbins, and Bibbins can't catch it. It was low, incomplete. 2nd down.
Yeah, they were in a 3-by-1 formation there, 3 receivers to the top, 1 down below, and Bibbins came out of the backfield to make it a 5-receiver route and kind of ran a little wheel sit route out by the numbers. Had a little bit of space, and quarterback just threw it just a little bit low, but not the worst thing in the world. At least it's an incomplete pass and stops the clock.
Parker Cook sneaking up on that right side of the line. He backs out in coverage. It's a play action. Barry will run, and he's brought down. Clock will roll. Barry gets everyone set. Just a 1-yard pickup, so it's 3rd down and 9 after the big play on special teams.
Canyon's not in too big of a hurry here. They want to make sure they get a first down before they start using their timeouts. They don't want to give Dripping Springs too much time if they're not able to convert here.
Barry,
there he is.
Over the middle, Albrock once again. He has 4 catches up that seam on either side, and the cupboard's not dry for Albrock.
Again, they're getting to it. It looks like the same play over and over again, but they're getting to it by different formations and disguising it really well. But like we said before, the end result's the same, and it's Albright running up the middle into that little seam, and a great ball.
Albrock goes in motion, snap back. Barry skirts up the middle, and another tackle in space.
Now they'll use their timeouts.
Luca Picucci continues his fantastic day. Has to have 7 or 8 tackles here today. But a timeout taken by Canyon, trying to conserve time, trying to cut into this lead. We'll keep things here, and pros and cons of this first half. Well, maybe not pros and cons, but the good and the bad for Canyon up to this point.
Well, I think the good thing for Canyon is, their offense hasn't necessarily, they haven't had any 3-and-outs. They haven't really, they've moved the ball on every single drive. Their first 2 drives, they got 3 or 4 first downs before eventually kind of getting stymied almost inside or right at the red zone. And so they haven't had any 3-and-outs to where their defense is right back on the field, giving some time for the defense to get over to the bench and talk some things through. And like I said, the last 2 possessions, they went down and scored. And so they've only had 4 possessions, this one being their 5th. Their first 2, they were stopped after a good series. The last 2 they've been able to score, and we'll see if they cap it off. But Dripping Springs has scored every time, and getting an extra possession, getting that fumble recovery on the kickoff is what's the difference right now.
Ball in the red zone at the 18-yard line. First down and 10. And check that, it's 2nd down. The throw is to the middle, and Albrock can't grab it. So the first down and 10 play was about 8 yards. That was 2nd down and 4. Down box said 2. Scoreboard said first down. Got to get that right for you guys at home. It's now 3rd down for Canyon. 26 seconds left in the first half. And the Cougars down 35-14 to Dripping Springs here in the district opener. Bibbins is the running back. 1 timeout. Bibbins goes in motion. Barry is pummeled in the backfield. Looked like the entire line just burst through for Dripping Springs. Timeout taken, but a very good call on defense.
Yeah, they kind of brought some pressure and entrusted their defensive backs to be able to man up. Canyon motioned to an empty set, and so everybody was pretty much man. They brought some blitz with their linebackers and was able to make a stop, and now it looks like Canyon's going to call a timeout. And initially they had run their field goal team out there, but I guess since the timeout, they're going to huddle back up, and still looks like the field goal unit is out there. But it's interesting. I'm not sure whether Canyon or Dripping Springs called the timeout there, but you might think that if they were going to kick that field goal, might wait a little bit longer before you called your timeout, so you might not give Dripping Springs any time. But Coach Bush used his 2nd timeout there just to make sure everybody was settled in, had enough guys. Because, again, getting any points right before half is always good. Obviously, you'd like a touchdown, but if you can get some points on the board, now that makes 3 straight possessions that you've scored on, gives you some confidence going into halftime.
34-yard field goal attempt for Davison, was making from 45 earlier today. Snap is back, hold is down, the kick is up, it's on the way, and it splits the uprights. Austin Davison was out here before anyone. It was still sunny outside. It was 96 degrees. He had the tee down and was kicking by himself here at home. And for moments like that.
Yeah, he's been good all night on kickoffs and obviously converting on both extra points after the touchdowns and then making that field goal. And he's been doing a great job on kickoffs too. And he's also the punter for him, and he hit that really high punt right there that gave them the opportunity to get those last points. So obviously you like it. You'd love a touchdown there, but getting some points right before half is always good to keep that momentum going. And now Canyon has scored on their last 3 possessions. So hopefully run out the half here, make some adjustments on defense, and come out and continue that offensive momentum and make a few stops on defense.
So Davison will be the one to kick the ball off here. And Dripping Springs, 5 touchdown drives here today. 35-17 is the score with 14 seconds left. Dripping Springs leading Canyon here in the first half.
Be interesting to see what Dripping Springs does here. Generally, rule of thumb here is if your return gets you close to midfield or so, you might take a shot. But if you get pinned deep, then you might just take a knee and run out the half. So we'll kind of see where the field position is to see what they do.
A kick in no man's land picked up. And a seam opens up to about the 33, 34-yard line. And so all the way on that far side, looked like Shell Hudson. So now you mentioned closer to the 25. You're maybe going to kneel, get to the closer to 50. Now you got 7 seconds.
Yeah, I think if you had maybe 10 or 12 seconds here, you might run a play over the middle, try to get 15, 20 yards because you do have that timeout. But with only 7 seconds, I don't know. The quarterback's got a strong arm, but I don't know if he can throw the ball 70 yards to get one into the end zone. So I think they're either going to run the ball here or may try maybe like a hook and lateral or something like that because I don't think that he's got the arm strength to throw it 70, 75 yards to get into the end zone.
Snap taken. It's a handoff to Hudson. Hudson gains a few, and the first half comes to a close. 35-17, Canyon down to Dripping Springs as we go to half number 2. We'll take halftime here, and we'll have a little halftime break, go over everything from the first, and then get you set for the second on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
It's football time in Texas. What could be better? A new Honda from Honda San Marcos, that's what. Because every new Honda we sell comes with our free lifetime warranty. Online at HondaSanMarcos.com.
Honda San Marcos.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership, with an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge. With over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
When the leaves begin to fall, unfortunately, seasonal illnesses and the flu bug begin to rise. That's why our board-certified physicians are always close by, ready and willing to handle all of your emergency needs. Visit our beautiful facility today, located at 1860 South Seguin Avenue, Suite 400, New Braunfels, Texas. We're always here, ready and willing to provide you with the best options in acute care.
We helped Kyle Field grow to make room for over 100,000 screaming Aggie fans. We helped the Children's Hospital of San Antonio grow so they can help more kids feel better. And we are helping Comal ISD design and open new campuses so our Canyon Cougars have room to grow. We are Cleary Zimmerman Engineers.
It's football time in Texas. What could be better? A new Honda from Honda San Marcos, that's what. Because every new Honda we sell comes with our free lifetime warranty. Online at HondaSanMarcos.com.
Honda San Marcos.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership, with an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge. With over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
When the leaves begin to fall, unfortunately, seasonal illnesses and the flu bug begin to rise. That's why our board-certified physicians are always close by, ready and willing to handle all of your emergency needs. Visit our beautiful facility today, located at 1860 South Seguin Avenue, Suite 400, New Braunfels, Texas. We're always here, ready and willing to provide you with the best options in acute care.
We helped Kyle Field grow to make room for over 100,000 screaming Aggie fans. We helped the Children's Hospital of San Antonio grow so they can help more kids feel better. And we are helping Comal ISD design and open new campuses so our Canyon Cougars have room to grow. We are Cleary Zimmerman Engineers.
It's football time in Texas. What could be better? A new Honda from Honda San Marcos, that's what. Because every new Honda we sell comes with our free lifetime warranty. Online at HondaSanMarcos.com.
Honda San Marcos.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
When the leaves begin to fall, unfortunately, seasonal illnesses and the flu bug begin to rise. That's why our board-certified physicians are always close by, ready and willing to handle all of your emergency needs. Visit our beautiful facility today, located at 1860 South Seguin Avenue, Suite 400, New Braunfels, Texas. We're always here, ready and willing to provide you with the best options in acute care.
We helped Kyle Field grow to make room for over 100,000 screaming Aggie fans. We helped the Children's Hospital of San Antonio grow so they can help more kids feel better. And we are helping Comal ISD design and open new campuses so our Canyon Cougars have room to grow. We are Cleary Zimmerman Engineers.
It's football time in Texas. What could be better? A new Honda from Honda San Marcos, that's what. Because every new Honda we sell comes with our free lifetime warranty. Online at HondaSanMarcos.com.
Honda San Marcos.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
When the leaves begin to fall, unfortunately, seasonal illnesses and the flu bug begin to rise. That's why our board-certified physicians are always close by, ready and willing to handle all of your emergency needs. Visit our beautiful facility today, located at 1860 South Seguin Avenue, Suite 400, New Braunfels, Texas. We're always here, ready and willing to provide you with the best options in acute care.
We helped Kyle Field grow to make room for over 100,000 screaming Aggie fans. We helped the Children's Hospital of San Antonio grow so they can help more kids feel better. And we are helping Comal ISD design and open new campuses so our Canyon Cougars have room to grow. We are Cleary Zimmerman Engineers.
It's football time in Texas. What could be better? A new Honda from Honda San Marcos, that's what. Because every new Honda we sell comes with our free lifetime warranty. Online at HondaSanMarcos.com.
Honda San Marcos.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
When the leaves begin to fall, unfortunately, seasonal illnesses and the flu bug begin to rise. That's why our board-certified physicians are always close by, ready and willing to handle all of your emergency needs. Visit our beautiful facility today, located at 1860 South Seguin Avenue, Suite 400, New Braunfels, Texas. We're always here, ready and willing to provide you with the best options in acute care.
We helped Kyle Field grow to make room for over 100,000 screaming Aggie fans. We helped the Children's Hospital of San Antonio grow so they can help more kids feel better. And we are helping Comal ISD design and open new campuses so our Canyon Cougars have room to grow. We are Cleary Zimmerman Engineers.
Booster Club would like to thank the following businesses for their continued sponsorship. Returning anchor sponsor.
It's football time in Texas. What could be better? A new Honda from Honda San Marcos, that's what. Because every new Honda we sell comes with our free lifetime warranty. Online at HondaSanMarcos.com.
Honda San Marcos.
The second half is upon us here in Canyon. The second half is upon us here in New Braunfels, Texas. The Canyon Cougars getting ready to take on the Dripping Springs Tigers. Currently, the Tigers are leading 35-17, and Dripping Springs about to receive the kick. James Haddon out here with you, Brian Hill with me. And, Coach, after the first half, Dripping Springs showed that they could really score the football. Canyon found their footing as the first half kind of finished up. And so after Davidson gets this kick, we'll get those keys to the second half for both teams. Approaching the football, it's in the air. It's a long kick. And Dripping Springs will take it from the 5-yard line. One tackle broken and all the way out to just outside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. Dripping Springs will get things started. So Dripping Springs scored 35 points in that first half. The offense looked like a well-oiled machine. What are the keys for the Tigers here in the second half?
Well, I think the key for them is just keep doing what they're doing and protecting their, their quarterback Novosad. I mean, he has shown time and time again when he has time in the pocket and he has time to look through his reads that he'll deliver a good ball. So Canyon's got to do a good job of putting some pressure on him and making him uncomfortable in the second half.
A spectacular throw and catch to the right side. Novosad on a line. It looks like, is that Garrett Duncan on that part? Actually, it's Grayson Jones. So Jones, his first catch of the day, and right out of the chute, a play of more than 25 yards.
Just another really good throw. I mean, we've said it a lot of times tonight. Good coverage, good coverage by Canyon's corners, but just an outstanding throw right on time.
And right there, Jones was wide open because a cornerback was running onto the field late. So misaligned, and another nice pickup. This one's for 9 yards on first down. And check that, they give him 10 yards. So it's a first down. So back-to-back first downs picked up by Dripping Springs, and Canyon needing a stop here, trying to take that momentum from the first half to the second half. Already down 2 big plays. Hand off Alford, jets up the middle, and he's upended at the 25 to about the 24.
Dripping Springs doing a good job right now mixing it up, run and pass. They come out 2 first plays, throwing the ball, and so, Canyon's defense maybe widen out their linebackers just a little bit, take away some of those easy throws, and then they hit you with the power play right up the middle.
So Alford, after his first half touchdown, goes out. Novosad steps back, slings one over the middle, and a collision right outside of the end zone, and a pass breakup for Canyon. Lawson Fields on the coverage.
Yeah, great coverage by him. Got over the top of a post, and looks like Dripping Springs was going after him. This is only a second play in after the starting corner got a little dinged up there, and so they were going after him and testing him. He passed the test there, did a great job of getting on top of that post.
On second down, another throw. This one, another pass breakup, and these defensive backs are sitting and attacking down the line.
For sure, that's one of those RPOs, quarterback's reading the safety. If the safety comes down, quarterback puts the ball in the belly of the running back. If the safety comes screaming downhill to defend the run, he'll pull it and throw the post in behind his head. 2 plays in a row, he's gotten the post read, he's thrown it, and it's been good balls, but the corners have driven right through the back of the receiver and knocked both of them down. We got 3rd and long here.
On 3rd down and 10, a draw right up the middle and a stop by Canyon. So after gaining 2 big plays, bend but don't break, and the Cougars get the stop they were looking for.
Yeah, it's that same draw play they ran in the first half on 3rd and long, and in the first half it went for about 20 and a first down. Cougars were a little more ready for it, and now Dripping Springs has a 4th down, kind of very similar to how Canyon started out the game on offense. A few first downs, now they're getting around that 20, 25-yard line. We'll see if they can convert on this 4th down.
4th down and 7 from the 21-yard line in Canyon territory. Novastad throws over the middle. Alford makes a grab, and he looks to be short. Line judge running in, and he is short. So a turnover on downs on the first possession by Dripping Springs, just what the doctor ordered for the Canyon Cougars.
Absolutely. That was a huge stop right there. Like we just talked about, kind of Dripping Springs did what Canyon did in the first half, had a really good drive, got down almost near the red zone, inside the red zone, and wasn't able to convert on 4th down. That was a huge stop by Canyon's defense. If they were giving up a score there, 42-17, it's a different ball game, and especially if they go down and score here, make it 35-24, 35-20, now you're right back in this ball game. Huge stop.
Deuce Adams comes in at quarterback. Drew Berry is the starter, but Adams has seen time, has a rushing touchdown on the day. He gives up to Bibbins up the gut, maybe a yard on 1st down.
You can see adjustment by Dripping Springs right there on the first defensive play, that first half when Deuce did that zone read. Both the D lineman chased the running back, and he pulled it for his touchdown. That time they sat home, made him hand it off, and so you could see that respect given to him after that first half.
On play action, Adams rolling, will tuck, 20, and he's upended at the 25-yard line. Tackle coming in by Gunnar Betts. 3rd down and long.
Great decision there by the quarterback, by Deuce. No one was open, saw a lane. Again, got about 6 yards to make it 3rd and short as opposed to trying to force something. Looks like we've got a injured Dripping Springs guy, but he's up and walking, so hopefully he's all right.
So the injured player was Johnny Martinez. The down box has not moved, so the line of scrimmage has not been reset right now. And play has been stopped as Martinez walks all the way across the field. And so the line now set on 3rd down and short. So 3rd down and 1 for Canyon right after the turnover on downs. 9.5 to play. First possession of the second half for the Cougars, down 35-17. Nolan goes in motion behind the play. Bibbins gets it and skirts forward. Bibbins is unhappy as he's trying to get off the field and was cut down short of the line to gain.
Yeah, it looks like either got stepped on or rolled his ankle a little bit, and that stopped him about a yard short. I know, you want to go for it. You want to keep this momentum going. Is it 3rd down or 4th? 4th and 1.
4th and 1.
Looks like they're going to go heavy and go for it.
Berry, hands right up, and the first down is gained. A humongous gamble early, but is it a gamble when you make it? And that's the man that had the touchdown earlier, Daniel Perez. So Canyon gets the first down, and they keep this drive alive here. 8.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Down 35-17 to Dripping Springs here in the district opener. Berry stays in at quarterback, and Berry hands off. New running back in, Jacob Alcorta, spelling Bibbins, and he skirts to the left for a good gain.
Very good patient run there. Got behind his guards. Didn't force it. He had a pulling guard. He kind of rode his back and rode the wave for a nice gain. And again, stayed on schedule, second and medium.
2nd down and 5 officially from the 31-yard line in Canyon territory. Berry takes the snap, hands off once again, and Alcorta rumbles forward across the 35 to about the 37. So a 1st down picked up, 7 yards picked up on 2nd down and 6. And Alcorta getting some time now with the injury to Bibbins, has 2 nice gains. And 1st down and 10 from the 37-yard line. Berry clapping his hands. On play action, steps back, back shoulder, catch made by Xavier Nolan. Right at the 34-yard line into Dripping Springs territory.
Giving Dripping Springs a little dose of their own medicine there. Dripping Springs has hit a few back shoulders in the first half, and then that first series of the second half, and Canyon did the same thing. Then great throw, back shoulder, and again, if that ball's thrown well, that is a very difficult route to defend.
19-yard pickup, 1st down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Berry loses the football. He fumbles the football, and it's picked up by Dripping Springs. Coming in for the stop was Parker Cook, and picking it up was Caden Mims. A humongous stop as Canyon was driving, trying to cut into this lead.
Yeah, I don't know whether there's miscommunication up front or not, but they had Dripping Springs had a free rusher coming off the edge, and Berry saw it late and tried to make a move to avoid it, and a good job by the Dripping Springs defender as he was making a tackle, reaching out and knocking that ball out of his hand.
So now, Nova Sod back in the saddle. 1st down and 10, handoff to Alford. Jukes one way, and then a calamitous stop by 5 or 6 jerseys of the black jerseys. 2nd down and 9. .706 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 35 points for Dripping Springs, 17 points for Canyon here in the district opener. Snap back, Novasad throws a swing pass. Alford on his feet, grass in front of him. Breaks free, 20. Alford will go to the house.
Yeah, threw a little flare pass out to the running back, and anytime you can get the running back involved in one of those type of plays, you add an extra blocker because you're not throwing it to one of your receivers. You're throwing it to a back out of the backfield, and that time they used all the receivers as blocking, and so he caught it and hit a seam, and we've already seen tonight how explosive he can be when he gets a seam like that.
2nd touchdown of the day, his 1st receiving touchdown, and the lead grows to 41-17. Snap is back, kick is up, and it's good by Walker Wright. So 42-17, your new score. 6:41 to play in the 3rd quarter on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network. A gargantuan turnover turns into points for Dripping Springs. 42-17, the Tigers take the lead versus the Cougars. And Brian, you mentioned it kind of off air, how humongous that turnover was for Dripping Springs.
Yeah, you could tell how important that first drive was to Coach Bush coming out of half. Defense made a big stop down inside the red zone, and he went for it on 4th and 1 from about his own 25-yard line and got it. And you could tell he really wanted to keep that momentum going, but then that turnover really hurt right there. And now you're looking at a 42-17 ball game, as opposed to if they were able to go down there and score in that. Now it's 35-24, and it's a completely different ball game.
42-17 is the score with 6:41 to play in the third quarter. This is the district opener. Both of these teams shared the district crown last year with Seguin. Both teams had playoff wins last year. And so 2 top teams here in District 12-5A. And right now Dripping Springs is getting the best of Canyon. Deuce Adams comes back in at quarterback. Ball on the 40-yard line in Cougar territory. Sends Alcorta in motion. Alcorta will take it on the counter around the right side and gains yards across the 45 to the 46.
A little read play there, power read. Quarterback puts the ball in the belly of the running back, and if reading the defensive end, if he comes upfield, chases the running back, he's going to pull it and run the quarterback power. If the defensive end closes down, then he hands it off to the running back. That time, defensive end closed, and he left it with the running back for a good game.
On 2nd down and 5, Alcorta gets it again. Can he bounce it outside? He's in the grips of Parker Cook, and he is going nowhere. Down at the 45-yard line, another nice tackle by Cook, and it's 3rd down and 5.
Did what you wanted to on 1st down, made it, 2nd and 5. Now with no gain, you got 3rd and medium here. Obviously, you would love it if you were 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, something like that. But 3rd and 5, it's still a manageable. It's not 3rd and 12 or anything like that. So you still have a variety of things you can go with here on 3rd and 5.
John Albrock is slot to the left, right by Alcorta. He's been the man on 3rd down here today. Had 4 catches in the first half on the seam. This throws down the right side looking for Nolan. He grabs it. A big play down this right side. Nolan lets the fans feel it as well into the red zone.
It's the second big catch he's had already here in the second half. They went to an empty set. So you're going to have one-on-one coverage somewhere when you got 5 wide receivers out there. Great job finding the one-on-one, and he beat his man and threw a fade down the sideline for a huge play.
Nolan comes in motion on 1st down and 10 from the 11. Deuce Adams down the sideline, sneaks by and into the end zone. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day.
I'll tell you what, that was a great run by him, but it was an outstanding block as well on the edge. I'm trying to see who that was. Looks like number 91. I don't have a 91 on the roster. Might have been 81, Villanueva, but it was a heck of a block. He kind of sealed that edge and cut that outside defender and got the edge for the quarterback there.
Snap is back, hold is down, and the kick is up and good. So a quick strike makes it a 3-score game. We'll take a break, be back with Canyon down 42-24 on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
When the leaves begin to fall, unfortunately, seasonal illnesses and the flu bug begin to rise. That's why our board-certified physicians are always close by, ready and willing to handle all of your emergency needs.
And so instituted was a new kicker, Owen Painter. We spotted it right out of the chute, tried a onside kick. Did Canyon, but it looks like Dripping Springs will be on offense, so not fooled. We're the Tigers. So 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter, 42-24. Dripping Springs leads Canyon. And some confusion on the field right now. Players running on, players running off. Still no word.
The ref is backing up to about the 35-yard line, which would either indicate that there was some sort of penalty and they're re-kicking it, moving back 5 yards, or the play stands, Dripping Springs recovers, and there's a 15-yard penalty afterwards. I don't know why the ref would have the ball on the 35-yard line unless they're re-kicking it or there was a penalty. Looks like they're going to re-kick it. 5-yard penalty, either offsides or too many men on the field or something like that.
So the same new kicker is out, Owen Painter. And now a more conventional alignment for Canyon. Is the kick conventional? Still the question. A little short kick off to this left side. And down the hash. And tackled well was Luke Hudson.
Great coverage by Canyon's kicking team there. Anytime you can pin the opponent in the 20 or less is a big play. Just outside the 20 on this one, but they had to back up 5 for their kickoff. If they would have kicked off in the normal spot in the 40, it'd have been right around that 20-yard line. Great coverage by Canyon's kickoff team.
So once again, rushing back onto the field is the Dripping Springs offense. 42 points on the day to just 24 for Canyon. 4 passing touchdowns for Austin Novosad. Coming into today, he had 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Does have an interception here today, but those touchdowns outweighing it right now. A handoff to Alford, and he breaks free off this left side. Alford switches hands and is tackled at the 45-yard line. Stop made on this left side by Aiden McCoonfus, but from the 26 to the 45, a 19-yard pickup on first down and 10. So now this is Alford time. Coming into today was averaging 15 yards per carry. This is his first game back after missing last time out versus Lockhart. Has a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown on the day. Goes up the middle once again and has some tough yards just outside the 50 to the 47.
Yeah, you never want to say in the third quarter that this is, a huge drive or anything like that, but being down 42-24, Canyon needs to really start stringing together some stops here. And Dripping Springs, they're sitting there saying if we can hand the ball off and get first downs, 4 or 5 yards a pop, then we're going to continue doing that. It looks like there's a Cougar down. They're stretching them out. It looks like a cramp.
The number is blocked by the trainer right now. So we will take a quick break, be back as he's tended to, and be back for the conclusion of this third quarter on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Chris Waller walking off with some help from the trainers. Always great to see when an injured player can get off under their own power. The scenario right now is this. Dripping Springs leads 42-24 with 4.5 to play in the third quarter. Novosad at quarterback on 2nd down and 7, slings it to the middle, and after bobbling it, a catch is made by Walker Wright. Very close to the first down.
Dripping Springs doing some more shifting before the play, trying to get the eyes of the secondary to switch up their keys a little bit that time. Wide receiver just found a hole in the soft spot of the zone and was able to catch it, but still third down, 3rd and short. It's going to be a big stop here for Canyon if they can get it.
So after scoring a touchdown on their last drive, trying to stop the Dripping Springs offense, which has only been stopped just one time today on 6 possessions. Second possession here in this second half. Novosad hands off to Alford, and he squirts free once again. And it seems like he's gashing Canyon every single time he touches the ball here in this second half.
Yeah, they started out in a 3-by-1 formation, 3 receivers to the top, 1 down, and then the fullback motioned back into the backfield, and they ran a little inside zone. Fullback did a good job of turning out on that defensive end, and running back kind of hit that crease on the backside gap there. And again, Dripping Springs running the football a little bit more in this half than we saw in the last one, trying to milk that clock and pick up some first downs, keep the clock moving.
Alford stays in at running back. In motion is Noah Lawyer. He gets the pop pass coming around the right. Things open up. Jumps over one man. Cuts up the middle still. And Lawyer down at the 10. The ball is loose, and it's inside the 5, and it's picked up by Canyon. So Lawyer found a lot of space, had a nice gain, but didn't secure the ball all the way to the turf. And Canyon with its second turnover forced on the day.
That's what you need right there if you're Canyon. Obviously, good design by Dripping Springs on offense. Brought him, looked like he was going the other way. Then he slammed on the brakes and came back the other way. And technically that was a pass because he pitched it forward to him, and they had the edge sealed up there and broke 2 or 3 tackles. And right there towards the end, got a little careless with the ball, and Canyon was able to knock it out. So, again, another big stop here. If Canyon can go down and get some points and cut in this deficit, you got a whole new ball game, but they're backed up. They got 95 yards to go.
First down and 10 from the 5-yard line in Canyon territory. Down 42-24 with 3.5 to play. Play clock at 4-3. Adams has it. Hands off to Alcorta. And Alcorta runs right through the line and churns forward across the 10 to about the 12. Tough yards there by the backup running back.
Yeah, he's running hard. And ever since he's been in the game, I haven't seen the first defender that's made contact be able to bring him down right there. He's running through arm tackles, and it's good. Again, keeping him on schedule. 2nd and 4, getting positive yards on first down, staying out of those 3rd and 10s and stuff like that. So good, hard running right there.
Under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter here in the district opener. Quick swing pass to the right, and almost a first down. E.J. Garcia snags it on the swing pass. And it is a first down for Canyon.
That's a big first down. You think, oh, hey, well, they're still on the 15, 16-yard line. But when you're backed up like that, at least getting one first down so that if you do have to punt, you're not punting from the shadow of your own goalpost. They always say when you work on coming out, get that first down to start the drive, and they did.
Garcia goes in motion behind the play. Adams on play action. Has some time. Adams throws back. Coming back to the football, Xavier Nolan. Came into today with just 6 receptions, has 4 here in this contest, including a big one down the sidelines during the last possession. And he has a big catch, helping out his quarterback right there.
Yeah, great job. Again, scramble drill. He started long, so the scramble rule drill, the rule for scramble drill, quarterback starts moving, do opposite of where you are. So he initially started running deep, and he started working back to his quarterback. I think that's his 3rd catch of the second half, and made some big plays for him.
On first down, Adams keeps it himself. And he took forever to decide, and he ended up falling forward 4 good yards. Second down and manageable.
That's that power read again, where he's reading that defensive end, and so rode him a long time to be able to decipher what that D-end was doing, and he shot upfield, so he kept it himself. And, again, staying on schedule. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 is what you want, as opposed to, 3rd and longs and 2nd longs.
Adams denies the pitch, and Adams slides forward after gaining a first down just outside the 45 to the 44. 12 yards picked up on 2nd down and 6, and a nifty move to get upfield.
Great job of sticking his foot in the ground and getting vertical and making one guy miss and getting a first down. You can kind of feel the energy a little bit. We're kind of piped into the crowd noise a little bit, and you can kind of sense from not just the Canyon fans but the sideline that turnover and now driving to be able to cut into this deficit, kind of got some momentum going. So they need to keep it up and definitely help if they capitalize and score some points on this drive.
Adams throws. Albrock again rises up and reels it into Dripping Springs territory.
I think that's about the 5th or 6th time that we've said that. Albright over the middle in that little bender. Great touch by the quarterback getting it over the linebacker. And again, credit to Coach Bush and his offensive staff of finding different ways to get him into a position to make those plays. It looks like it's the same play, but it's not. He ends up in the same spot, but they're doing it out of different formations.
On first down and 10, Albrock throws to the end zone, and it's incomplete. And check that, that's Adams. I had Albrock on the brain after he caught maybe his 6th catch right in that middle. But Adams throws incomplete. Him and his wide receiver, Eli Adams, not on the same page. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it looked like his receiver kind of hooked up at about 10 to 12 yards. Don't know whether that was an option route or a miscommunication, but Quarterback threw it deep, thinking he was going to go for the home run ball, and the receiver kind of stopped at about 10 to 12 yards, thinking he was running a little hook route.
Second down and 10 from the 34-yard line in Tigers territory. Adams on the design roll to the right. Right to E.J. Garcia. A nice catch right in front of the camera. Smile, young man. A huge play for another first down right outside the 20 at the 21.
Little flood concept there. They call it a flood because you're kind of flooding the zone with a lot of numbers. You got one guy flat at about 3 yards. You got another one out breaking at about 10 to 12. Really could have thrown to either one of them there, but he chose the second level guy and made a really good throw. And Canyon's got to work in here. Got to work in here almost inside the red zone. Got to cap it off here and cut into this lead.
13-yard pickup, and Deuce Adams orchestrating the offense right now. Adams crunched in the backfield. Parker Cook with his second sack on the day has a forced fumble earlier on Drew Berry, and he has been in the backfield often for the Tigers.
Yeah, Dripping Springs getting down into the shadow of their own goalpost inside the red zone. Decided to gamble a little bit, brought some pressure off the edge right into the teeth of where the play was trying to go, and they gambled correctly on that one and was able to come up with a big stop and make it second and long.
But the Cougars inching forward right now. We move to the fourth on second down and 17 on the other side. 42-24 the score. Tigers in front of Canyon here in the district opener on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
It was 89 degrees at the beginning of this game. It's now 68, but things heating up right now on the field. 42-24 the score right now, and Canyon driving, but there are some other scores going on around the district.
Yeah, some scores from around the district and District 12. Some other district matchups besides this one going on in the district. You got a final between Seguin and Veterans Memorial. Seguin won that game 23-21. The other games in the district, obviously besides this one, we got two other ones that are not completed yet. With about 3 minutes left in the third quarter, looks like Johnson is beating McCullum 48-7, and then the Harlandale versus Lehman in the fourth quarter. Harlandale leads that one 21-14.
Back here in New Braunfels, Canyon currently down 42-24, and a timeout right out of the quarter break.
Yeah, and those are ones that'll get Coach Bush a little heated up there. You had some time to talk about it. You had the quarter change, and then you go out there, and I don't know whether it was a personnel issue or whether play was miscommunicated. I don't know, but having to burn a timeout after you've just been over there for about a minute or two talking about it between the break, hopefully that timeout doesn't come back to haunt them. But again, this is an important drive, and so you want to make sure you get it right. You know, I'm sure he would happily give up one timeout to make sure that the play's right, so hopefully you can get a touchdown here and cut into this lead.
Second down and 17 from the Dripping Springs 28-yard line. 42-24 is the score, and Dripping Springs leads Canyon here in the district opener. The start of the fourth quarter, and Canyon was in the shadow of their own end zone to begin this drive. After forcing a fumble, they've marched down to the 28 in Dripping Springs territory and are looking to cut into this 3-score lead. Deuce Adams has been manning the quarterback position on a quick throw left side, caught by Eli Adams. Adams breaks through a tackle, 10, and he's tossed out of bounds inside the 10. Tackle made by Owen Rhodes, but on the bubble screen, Eli Adams helps Canyon inch closer. They're inside that 10-yard line.
Big-time conversion there. Second and long, went back to what was successful in the first half. Throwing that bubble screen. I got first and goal, looking to cap off a 95-yard drive here.
Adams fakes the pitch. Adams outside, strung out, and just gains yards inside the 5 to maybe the 4-yard line. So a 2-yard pickup on first down and goal from the 6. Deuce Adams has shown his elusiveness here today, already has 2 rushing touchdowns. So why not go back to the well? That is Adams. They give him just 1 yard on the play, 2nd down and goal from the 5. 15 seconds in to the 4th quarter. Canyon down by 3 scores. Tight formation right now. Adams throws to the end zone. Easy pitch and catch. And that's John Albrock for the score.
Great play design there. They're kind of what you call a bootleg. Quarterback fakes one way. Fullback comes across the formation looking like he's going to block the defensive end like he's done so many times. But then he slips right past him, gets out in the flats, and it's an easy pitch and catch. And I'll tell you what, that's a huge drive. Not only do you cut into this deficit, but you were backed up all the way to your own 5. To come out, cut into this lead on a 95-yard touchdown drive is absolutely huge.
Extra point is up and good. We'll take the break. But Canyon down by 11 here to Dripping Springs, 42-31 with 11 and a half to play in the 4th quarter on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to New Braunfels, Texas. We're here at Canyon High School at Cougar Stadium, and the Canyon Cougars have battled back to make this an 11-point game, 42-31, with 11 and a half to play in the 4th quarter. Halftime score was 35-17, and after Canyon marched down the field, they fumbled the ball. Preston Alford had a receiving touchdown, and things looked bleak, making it 42-17, but back-to-back scores have brought Canyon back. An onside kick attempt is hit. The ball is still loose, and it's picked up by the Cougars.
Wow.
The Canyon Cougars recover the onside kick, and running around with the football, waving his hands in the air, is Lane Buteau.
Yeah, I mean, that was, it almost looked like, I don't know whether they shifted to it or not, but I mean, that was a true onside. It wasn't one of those where it was kind of a bloop or a squib that just bounced off somebody. I mean, they lined up and kicked that onside, and Dripping Springs guy tried to make a play on it, bounced off of him, then the ball actually launched forward about 10 or 15 yards, and it was a mad scramble from there. Canyon's got the ball, only down 11 and plus territory here.
1st down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Adams hands off to Alcorta, and he slips and falls just at the 45. So a loss on the play, 2nd down and long. Canyon has simply stayed alive here in this contest. Defense forced a turnover. Offense then went 95 yards on the last drive. Right now it's 2nd down and 13 from the 45-yard line in Dripping Springs territory. Adams has been at quarterback for the last couple drives. Drew Berry started this game. Adams has it. Races out of the pocket. Floats it to Alcorta, and Alcorta makes a basket catch over here on this left side outside of the 30 at the 32.
Again, just the ability of Deuce Adams to be able to extend the play. First read not open, scrambles to the left, buys some time, and then is kind of just scramble drill from there. Great job by his receiver, who was short, went up the sideline, great touch. And they do give him the 1st down now, so now it's 1st and 10, a big conversion there.
So a 13-yard pickup on 2nd down and 13. Now it's 5 wide for Adams. Pressure comes, it's picked up. Adams has the ball stripped. And they say Adams was down, and that's a close play.
That was very close. Just as he was going down, if the knee was down, I don't know if we could see a replay or not, but officials called him down, and we're going to go with it. There is no replay or challenge here in high school football unless it's the state championship game, and so they said he was down, and I couldn't agree more.
However, an eternity to go now after the forced tackle for loss. Ball is outside the 40 at the 42. 2nd down and 20 for Adams and company. Dripping Springs hasn't brought a lot of pressure, hasn't had to, but they bring it on that last play. Adams once again slips it out to Alcorta. 40. Alcorta gains the yards back just outside the 30-yard line.
Again, good job of going through his progressions there and hit his running back as kind of a check down on a swing pass, and now you get those yards back, and now it's, third down, but it's 3rd and 8 as opposed to what they were at 2nd and 20. And so you got to think it's 4-down territory here. I don't think Coach Bush is going to kick a field goal. You want to score a touchdown here, and so you got to be thinking 4 down. So you might not see something that goes past the chains. Getting 4 or 5 yards here is a good play if you're thinking 4-down territory.
Canyon was down 42-17 here in this second half. 5 seconds on the play clock. Everyone is now set. Adams drops back, slings it deep to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Looking for Xavier Noland. 2 Tigers over there. Would have been a tough catch. It's 4th down.
Offense staying out on the field. Again, kind of in that no man's land. Only on about the 32-yard line, so if you punt, it goes in the end zone. It's only a 12-yard net, but that'd be about a 49-yard field goal for a high school kicker, and that's probably just out of range. Even though Davidson's shown he's got a strong leg, they're going to go for it here in 4th.
Adams has it on 4th down and 9. Goes deep to the end zone, and a flag comes in. Intended wide receiver was Eli Adams. On the coverage, Derek Edgar didn't get his head around, and that's going to be a 1st down for Canyon.
Yeah, it looked like the defender was in pretty good position initially, and then right when the ball got there, he turned his head and kind of wrapped his arms around the receiver there. Obviously, automatic 1st down and a huge conversion there.
So on 4th down and 9, a pass interference penalty continues the drive.
Like we talked about earlier, it's the momentum is clearly in Canyon's favor right now. Again, we're tuned in to the mic to hear the outside. The fans are into it, sidelines into it. And if they cap this thing off, it's gonna get pretty loud in here.
Inside the red zone on 1st down and 10. Flip to the outside. Alcorta deep and goes down in the arms of Daniel Cleveland. His first tackle of the day, and 2nd down and long.
Great job of him just being able to get that catch. The option pitch to him was a little behind him. Good job of corralling that and then fighting forward to make a positive play out of it.
42-31, an 11-point lead for Dripping Springs. Canyon in possession on the Dripping Springs 15-yard line on 2nd down and 9. Deuce Adams tries to exit stage right, but he's pulled down. Back-to-back plays made by Daniel Cleveland. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, didn't like what he saw downfield. Tried to scramble again. Good job by Dripping Springs defensive end who had initially rushed up the field. Saw the scramble and came back and was able to make the play. So we got 3rd and 10 here.
Clock runs under 8 minutes on the snap. Adams looking end zone. Adams called incomplete. And Eli Adams looks up looking for a penalty. He was brought down in the end zone, but a no call makes it 4th down.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact there, but I guess the ref is thinking that the defender turned his head back and their feet just got hung up a little bit there, but there was definitely a lot of contact. They're going to send the field goal unit out here to try to make it an 8-point game. That way it's a 1-possession game. Obviously, you need to go for 2 if you were able to score, but this field goal, if made, would make it an 8-point game.
34-yard field goal by Davidson is up, and it splits the uprights. Davidson with his 2nd field goal of the day. And when he's been called on, he's answered. 42-34 the score with 7:49 to play in the 4th quarter. Canyon battling back here at home in the district opener on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network.
Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. Nissan of New Braunfels, You've got to see this place.
Well, after being down 42-17, 17 unanswered points, making it a 8-point game right now. 42-34 is the score. Canyon has battled back here at home in the district opener. And after forcing a fumble, scoring on that possession, kicking a field goal in their last possession, after getting a onside kick, a conventional long kick in the air. Hudson drops it, still hasn't picked it up, now has to race forward. The C's open up, and Hudson makes something out of nothing. That could have been very bad, but gains yards out to the 32.
Yeah, him bobbling that actually might have helped him because, once the kicking team sees that ball on the ground, everybody kind of wants to go, either hit him or recover that fumble, maybe get out of their lanes a little bit. So when he did pick it up, there was a big hole over here on the home sideline, and he was able to get all the way out to the 31-yard line.
Well, here's the scenario. Dripping Springs has gone dry here in their last two possessions. They did not score on their last one, and the onside kick helped Canyon keep the momentum. It's now first down and 10 from the 31-yard line, and Preston Alford gets the first give, and he goes up the gut across the 35 to about the 37, 38-yard line.
And as long as they can get 5, 6, 7 yards handing the ball off, and Dripping Springs will gladly do that and let that clock run. They're going to keep running the ball as long as they can get some positive yards and run that clock.
7 yards picked up on first down to the 38, second down and 3. Alford has gone over 85 yards here today and more than 150 yards total with his receiving touchdown and rushing touchdown. Flag comes in, and a false start will push Dripping Springs back.
And Dripping Springs did a little shift before the snap like they've done a few times here, moving guys from one side of the formation to the other. Looked like they were trying to get some numbers into the boundary here, but somebody must have got a little too anxious and moved early. So now that makes it 2nd and 8 as opposed to about 2nd and 2. 2nd and 3, something like that.
Clock runs under 7 minutes, and it's 2nd down and 8 from the 33-yard line in Dripping Springs territory. Novastad looking to the sidelines to get the official call. Snap back, the handoff is to Luke Hudson, and Hudson burrows his head down. He bolsters forward across the 35 back to the 38, that initial line of scrimmage prior to the penalty, and it's going to be 3rd down and short for Dripping Springs.
Great job of rallying to the ball there. Looked like there was initially a crease, got 3 or 4 yards, and then great play by the outside linebacker, number 7, Jesse Camarillo, there to fold back in and keep it to a minimal gain. Big 3rd down here.
Numerous men in the box expecting a run. It's a throw and a catch made by Walker Wright. Breaks a couple tackles. The ball pops out on the turf and coming in. No call official yet. And I'll let the crowd let you all know who got the football. The Canyon Cougars force a 3rd turnover on Dripping Springs. Canyon down by 8 with 6:02 to play here in the 4th quarter.
Again, it's another wide receiver at the tail end of a run. Great job by him of breaking initial tackles, always wanting to go get more yards and be tough. But then when the guys come swarming, they got to cover that thing up. And 2 times in a row now after a big play for Dripping Springs, what would have been a 1st down, keep the drive alive. They fumbled, and now that momentum was already on Canyon's side. Now it's really on their side, and there's some excitement going on the sideline.
Ball at the 48-yard line. Eli Adams comes in motion. Now E.J. Garcia comes in motion. It's a pop pass. Garcia slips by 1 tackle and does well get to go past the line of scrimmage. Stopped just outside the 50 at about the 48. So no gain, but could have been much worse for the Cougars.
Looked like a little confusion there. I don't know whether the quarterback was supposed to fake it to him and keep it himself, but it almost looked like E.J. Garcia was a little surprised that he was getting that ball and had a defender right in his face. Good job of making that guy miss and at least getting some positive yards there.
5.5 to play in the 4th quarter. Canyon down 42-34. Adams takes the snap. Adams thought about running. Chunks it deep. Caught! John Albrock on the sidelines, waving his hands up and down. The catch was made by Xavier Nolan, and Nolan has had a big day here today. Came in with just 6 receptions, has 7 here in this contest, and 2 big ones. First down inside the red zone.
Another scramble drill. Quarterback extending the play. Initially not there, moving to his right. Great job by the receiver of getting in his field of view and finding a window there. Scramble drill has been a good play for him.
Deuce Adams just goes down. Nowhere to go. Good coverage in the secondary. And a sack for Caden Mims. So Adams taking his time to get up. The clock is not the friend of Canyon right now, and Adams goes back down. So with that, we'll take a quick break to let the trainers tend to Adams. 42-34 is the score. It's an 8-point game. Adams has been phenomenal here at quarterback. And we'll take the break to see if he can continue on the Canyon Cougar Sports Network. We return to the Canyon Cougars, sending out Drew Berry. Deuce Adams got up, trotted off under his own power, but Berry must take this snap right here on 2nd down and 21. Berry over the middle. John Albrock once again reels it in inside the 10.
Stop me if you've heard this before. Albrock over the middle. And that's about the 6th or 7th time they've done it. Again, very creative ways to get there. Great ball by the quarterback right over the middle and great concentration, knowing he was probably going to take a hit, but a huge, huge first down after a 2nd and long, and the quarterback's going to stay in there.
And Berry has stayed ready. It's been a 2-quarterback system. Adams has taken the last 2 drives down into the red zone, but Berry, his first throw, just snaps it right across. Hands off on this first down, and it's a short gain. Deuce Adams will return.
And that's a tough thing to do too. You know, Deuce has been playing the last series or 2, and so you're over there on the sideline, and the first play in, you throw about a 25-yard dart. I mean, credit to him for coming in there and converting that first down.
2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. Adams throws a fade back of the end zone, and a flag comes in. Ball fell incomplete. Chase Wazant was the guilty party, and Adams will come out, and Drew Berry will go back in with 3:21 to play. 42-34 is the score. It's an 8-point game. Canyon was down 42-17 here in this second half. They got a big 4th down and then fumbled the football. Preston Alford then had a huge touchdown to make it 42-17, but since then it's been all Canyon. Berry under center, hands off. Alcorta dives forward and plunges into the end zone.
Yeah, brought in their jumbo package there, brought in extra tight ends and fullbacks. Offense staying out on the field now. They know they got to go for 2. And so this is stuff you work all week. Coach Bush on his call sheet there has a whole box, probably in the bottom right-hand corner, with 2-point plays that you've repped all week. And so he's going to need it right here to try to pull it even and make it a 42-42 game. I don't know what the confusion here is. They haven't officially marked it as a touchdown. Scoreboard hadn't changed, but it looked from here like he was easily into the end zone.
And so still a discussion. Play clock will be pushed up to 25. And was there a timeout called? Had to have been a timeout called, because play has been ceased. Ball is spotted, and timeout had to have been called. There's still a discussion, so really the timeouts haven't come off the scoreboard either.
It's a little strange. The score hasn't changed on the scoreboard, although we think it's a touchdown. And the timeout, if they have taken a timeout here, it still says Canyon has 2 timeouts left. If they did take a timeout, that would be their second one. They'd only have 1, and the score should be 42-40 right now. It looks like they did give them the touchdown because the ball's back on the 3-yard line, and in a 2-point conversion, you can actually pick which hash you want the ball on, whether you want it on a hash in the middle of the field, left middle or whatever, which is what they've chosen here. So it looks like it's about to be the 2-point play, but yet the scoreboard hasn't changed yet.
2-point conversion attempt. Deuce Adams is in at quarterback. To his left is Al Corda, fresh off his touchdown run. To tie the game, Adams throws to a wide open receiver. Eli Adams reels it in, and we are square here in Canyon.
Got some extracurricular after the play, a flag. It shouldn't affect the conversion, but there was some extracurriculars between the Canyon player and the Dripping Springs player. I'm not sure who it's on, maybe offsetting, I'm not sure, but that was a great play design. Brought him in motion, ran him out in the flat, and they ran a little rub route out there, and the guy that was trailing him got caught up in the, we're not going to call it a pick, we'll call it a rub, got caught up in it, and was wide open in the end zone. But again, the scoreboard hasn't changed yet, but by all accounts, by our means, it's 42-42. Tie ball game with 3:17 left in the game.
So after being down 42-17 early in the third quarter, Canyon has forced 2 turnovers, has an onside kick, and Deuce Adams has furiously brought back the Canyon Cougars. It's a tie ball game here in the district opener, and what a spectacle this has been here to start off the district slate.
It's everything you want between 2 of the top teams in the program, or in the district, 2 of the top programs in the district, squaring off and going to battle in the first district game, kind of setting the tone for the rest of district play. And Canyon down 42-17, battling back to tie it up. It shows a lot of grit on their part, and still a lot of ball game left. We still got 3:17, so we'll see how it plays out. But we've gotten everything we've wanted and more out of this game. It's been a heck of a game so far.
So for Dripping Springs, their offense has come to a complete halt because of turnovers forced by the Canyon Cougars. They scored on their first 5 possessions, ended up scoring after forcing a turnover by Canyon. But since then, the Cougars have roared back here into this contest. The fans are waving up and down because the scoreboard has finally changed, and it's tied now on the scoreboard, 42 apiece with 3:17 to play.
Well, this looks interesting right here. There's a 15-yard penalty on Dripping Springs, so Canyon gets to kick it off in plus territory, so they're lined up in an onside position here, and they do it.
Another onside kick. The ball is on the turf, still bouncing around. A scrum outside the 25. No signal yet, and now Dripping Springs officially has the football.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where you might as well do that. You got a 15-yard penalty after that 2-point conversion, so you're kicking off from the opponent's 45. So you might as well kick an onside, because even if they recover, they're going to get it about where they would if you'd have kicked it off and they'd have fair caught it. And you also give yourself a chance to get that ball. And so that 15-yard penalty, they decided to onside kick it and almost got it.
The fans rise in volume here in the district opener. Canyon has roared back from being down 42-17. We're tied 42 apiece, 3:11 to play. Novastar throws, intercepted!
Wow.
Just the 3rd interception of the season thrown by Austin Novasad, and Canyon has forced another turnover here in the second half. Interception by Lane Buteau, and in plus territory, Canyon has a chance to take the lead here in the 4th.
What a turn of events. I mean, 42-17, now it's 42-42 with Canyon having the ball with 3 minutes left. Turnovers have been the story for Dripping Springs, and one side, the side wearing red right now is in a frenzy, and the other side's a little bit stunned right now.
Deuce Adams in at quarterback. Design run. Adams just slides down at the 30. No gain, nowhere for him to go. And the first man to tap him down is Luca Picucci.
Clock's running.
Clock runs under 3 minutes. And Deuce Adams has been everything for Canyon here today. Adams has led the last 3 scoring drives, has 2 rushing touchdowns on the day, and has a passing touchdown along with that 2-point conversion that he tossed to Eli Adams. 2nd down and 11 from the 31-yard line. Adams takes the snap, looking deep, big throw, left side, incomplete.
Good job there by the Dripping Springs defender. Got his head back, looking for the ball. There was a little bit of contact, but because he was turned around looking for the ball, he has a right to go up for that too. So there's no interference there. So now we got a 3rd and 11 with about 2:15 left in the game. Dripping Springs does have all their timeouts. So if Canyon does run the ball here, you would expect them to, or if they complete a pass and tackled short of the first down mark, you might see them use a timeout to give their offense some time just in case they're down.
3rd down and 11 from the 31-yard line. Cougars in Dripping Springs territory, and the importance of this play is tantamount. It forces a timeout by Coach Travis Bush.
Yeah, play clock was running down, and Coach Bush went over there to call a timeout and then kind of signals out to his quarterback, kind of the rolling motion like, hey, come on, we got to get in and out of the huddle. So I believe the scoreboard still says that Canyon has 1 timeout. But if there was a timeout after that 2-point conversion, that should be their last one. I'm not sure. Scoreboard says Canyon still has 1 timeout left. We believe that they're all out of timeouts. I'm not really sure.
And it could have been, if they didn't take the timeout, the head coach was talking with the officials on where they wanted to spot the ball, and so that's why there was so long of a discussion. You wonder why it maybe took that long for the ball to be placed.
Right.
Either way, Canyon needs 11 yards to continue this drive, tied 42 apiece. 2:15 to play, and Deuce Adams talking with his offensive line right now coming out of the timeout.
And we know Davison has a good leg, and he's been automatic tonight, so even if they don't get a first down, if they get a good chunk here, they might send out the field goal unit.
Adams, plenty of time, and he's sacked from behind. The coverage held up, and Elijah Gonzalez with a humongous sack.
Yeah, and Dripping Springs is going to take a timeout here to preserve as much time as they can, so when they get the ball back on offense, they have a chance to go down. But, you know, Deuce has been phenomenal all night extending those plays and creating plays. But right there in that situation, you definitely don't want to take a sack. They were already probably on the edge of field goal range, but with that sack, you're definitely not in field goal range anymore. And so it looks, I would imagine Canyon would try to maybe punt this ball and try to pin them inside the 20, hopefully the 10-yard line, and make them have a 90, 85-yard field with just 2 minutes left to go.
So after Austin Novosad threw the interception, this place went mad. Canyon had a chance to take the lead after being down by the score of 42-17, but a sack takes them out of field goal range, as it seems, and the Cougars will have to kick the ball away, and Austin Novosad, along with the rest of the Dripping Springs Tigers, will have a second chance here with 2 minutes to play, 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Luke Hudson has already muffed a punt here today. Austin Davison will punt the ball away. Well, that's how they're lined up. Now Davison runs to the left. And just some window dressing, trying to force a free play, but it also will be 5 yards back on the delay of game and also helps you to kick an easier punt.
Yeah, that was. I don't think that they weren't really going to run a play there. They were just motioning and running up there and giving a hard count, trying to get a free 5 yards. Maybe if you move it up to the 30, you might have a field goal opportunity. But you know, worst case scenario, you get a delay of game, and that's fine with them moving back 5 yards. Give the punter a little bit more room to try to pin them deep and not kick it out of the back of the end zone.
So Davison now will punt the ball away. Hudson is back to receive. Davison grabs it down and barely gets anything on it. It takes a Cougar roll and downed outside the 25. So a couple things could have went wrong there, but the ball does find its way off the foot of Davison. And now Dripping Springs has plenty of time, 2 timeouts, an explosive offense that's been silenced here in this fourth quarter. But they averaged 54 points a game. They led the team and led the district in offense last year in points per game. So still plenty of time.
Yeah, great job by Davison there on the punt, just handling that snap. Was a little high. Dripping Springs still hasn't punted this game. They just had a lot of turnovers.
1:53 to play. Tie ball game. Alford on the screen. One-handed grab. 30-yard line. Alford runs into his own man. 40-yard line. And he rumbles forward to that 40. A 19-yard pickup on first down and 10. And Dripping Springs turns on that faucet right now, trying to get that offense flowing.
Yeah, good play design. 3 wide receivers to the opposite side, and they throw a screen to the running back. Great catch, one-handed catch there to get the drive going.
Novastad takes the snap on a swing pass. Alford slips by a defender. Flag comes in. Alford, 50-yard line, and he's tackled in Canyon territory. Flag came in all the way here on this left side. We'll get that call. There's a Canyon player down, and he gets up gingerly, walking off.
Yeah, you're either going to get a block in the back or an illegal blindside there. A wide receiver by Dripping Springs came in from the numbers and cracked somebody on the inside that was pursuing that ball. So you're either going to get a block in the back or a blindside.
And that's a huge 15-yard penalty. Takes the ball back to the 25-yard line. James Sobervilla was the injured party, and he walked off under his own power. But now, a long way to go. Cougars do have the 1 timeout. So still, the game in the balance right now.
Yeah, and if you're Dripping Springs, you still got time. I mean, you got a minute and a half left, and you got 2 timeouts. So you don't need to be super fast to where you make a mistake here, but they do have 2 timeouts.
On first down and 18, Novastad throws an out route and a strike caught on this right side. Garen Duncan.
Great throw. You know, just about a 10, 15-yard out route there. Threw it on time. Great ball. Caught it. Got out of bounds. Stopped the clock. Saved a timeout.
Ball at the 47-yard line. Novastad steps back. Throws over the middle. Another catch. This one by Walker Wright. And he fumbles the football. He fumbles the ball and picked up by Canyon. The second fumble on the day by Walker Wright. And the 4th turnover here in this second half by Dripping Springs.
Wow. Again, Dripping Springs, was that 5 total tonight? 4 in the second half. Having a hard time hanging on to it. Their offense has been productive. They haven't punted yet tonight, but Canyon has forced 5 turnovers and been opportunistic, and those turnovers have allowed Canyon to get back in the game, and now they got a chance to go down and win the game off that 5th turnover, 4th here in the second half. We got a minute left. Scoreboard says 1 timeout. Get into field goal range and maybe have a chance to win this ball game.
First down from the 45-yard line in Dripping Springs territory. Deuce Adams takes the snap. Adams has nowhere to go, and then Adams throws the ball away. Almost a one-handed interception on the sideline, but the ball falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
They tried to throw that ball away, but I'm sure Coach Bush is going to tell them when watching the film tomorrow, hey, when you throw it away, let's throw that in the student section. Let's throw that over the track. That was pretty close. The Dripping Springs defender actually got his hands on it. Landed out of bounds, but a little too close for comfort. But good job of throwing it away and not taking a sack.
Clock stops at 56 seconds. 42-42 the score here in the 4th quarter in the district opener. Adams will run. A lot of space, and Adams looked like he took the wrong lane. Looked like he had a lot of space, but he was grabbed from behind. So you have to credit Elijah Gonzalez from stopping Adams before he really got going.
Yeah, it was a design quarterback draw, and he looked like he had all kinds of space if he just follows his tailback, but he cut back to the right and where the one defender was.
On 3rd down and 4, Adams, big throw, left side, incomplete. Intended wide receiver was Eli Adams. And now Canyon must punt on 4th and 4.
I'm sure there's a lot of people up in the stand saying, go for it, go for it. But with only 26 seconds left, you don't want to not get it here and then give Dripping Springs with 2 timeouts the ball at about midfield and a chance to only needing about 20, 25 yards to get in field goal range. So better to punt it away, make them have a long field with 20 seconds or less, and force an overtime.
Ball is back. Punt is away. A spiraling kick. Hudson will let it bounce. It rolls, and it is downed inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. So that makes things interesting. 16 seconds. You have to run a play, have to move the ball forward. Can't step back. Is there enough space for that kneel?
My guess is they're just going to hand it off to the running back. I mean, 16 seconds left. You've already had 4 turnovers in this half. You don't want to do something to where you create another turnover and give Canyon the ball with a chance to kick a field goal. So my guess is they're just probably going to hand this ball off and take it into overtime. But I'll tell you what, if we voted on a special teams player of the game, definitely going to Davis in there. He's both kick and punt and been huge for Canyon tonight in the special teams.
Right now, Alford is the running back. Novosad takes the snap. Will throw. In the air. And a flag comes in. And so, being opportunistic, just throw the ball deep. Intended wide receiver was Garen Duncan. And the flag's going to come in on Canyon.
Well, I guess I was wrong. I guess they're not going to hand the ball off and take it to overtime. They saw a one-on-one matchup up top and threw it deep. And, you know, yes, he got a penalty there. But if I'm the Canyon DB coach, I will take that. I will say, hey, we'll give up 15 yards right here instead of a touchdown or something that could potentially get them in field goal range. This is not the NFL where it's a spot foul. It's only a 15-yard penalty. And so that's not the end of the world to have a penalty right there because there's only 9 seconds left and they still got over 80 yards to go.
But does that make you think a little bit about what this play is going to be? Do you roll back the coverage? And right now, that's what's happening. 3 men off the line. Novosad has a strong arm. Will throw to the left. Alford looking for space, leaving everything in front of them, and Alford goes out of bounds at the with 2 seconds left, just at about the 36-yard line.
Well, again, they just threw a little flare pass out to the running back and see how much yards they gained if they wanted to be able to take a shot into the end zone. They did pick up good yards, but still on the 35-yard line, Canyon's DBs are going to be playing about 30 yards deep. I don't know if he's got the arm strength to launch it 70 yards to try for a Hail Mary. So they're either going to run this thing out or they're going to throw it short and maybe you try to pitch it, or we'll see what they can get on a crazy play.
Final play of regulation. Novosad throws it deep. A man on that side, and it is intercepted. That's how regulation comes to a close. Tendai Hananda with his first pick of the season. That's now 6 turnovers. Inconsequential now at this point with that turnover to end regulation. But free football here on Friday night.
You bet. It's been a great game, and I'll tell you what, being an ex-quarterback, I wouldn't want that interception to count against me. Hail Mary's into half into the game. It gets intercepted, those 50-50 balls. Yes, it goes down as a turnover in the stat book, but, he's just trying to give his guy a chance to make a play and see if something crazy happens. And Canyon forces another turnover, and now we go into overtime. Who'd have thought? Down 42-17, here we are going into overtime, tied 42-42.
Down by 25 points. 42-17 was the score in the middle portion of the third quarter, but the Canyon Cougars have roared back, had a couple chances to win it in regulation after forcing a couple late turnovers by Dripping Springs, but the Tigers defense did not allow for a final gut punch, and we have overtime in New Braunfels. So we'll have who has the first crack at it in just a moment. But what was when you were coaching, did you want the ball first or did you want to give the ball up to know what you had to do?
I like playing defense first. That way your offense goes out on the field because you're guaranteed a possession, obviously. And so I always liked it to where my offense knew what they had to do going out. And also from a play calling standpoint, if you are fortunate enough to hold them and then not get any points, now you're very conservative, handing the ball off to give yourself a chance to kick a field goal for the win. And so I always liked it to where our defense was first so our offense knew exactly what they were going to get. But looks like Dripping Springs won the toss and did just that. And so they're going to play defense first, so we're going to see Canyon's offense come out here first from the 25-yard line.
Canyon's offense has been booming here in this second half. 25-7, outscoring Dripping Springs to make it a game. Right now it's 1st down and 10 from the 25-yard line. First possession of the overtime. Adams will throw to the end zone. And just off his fingertips, Eli Adams could not snag it. 2nd down.
They went for the home run, play one. Kind of did what Dripping Springs did early in the half, brought a motion, trying to get some DB's eyes not where they're supposed to be with a fly sweep motion, and then they're going to take the one-on-one and had a step on him, just a hair overthrown right off his fingertips. Now you got 2nd and 10.
Alcorta is the running back. Cameron Bibbins, the starter, went out in the 3rd quarter, and Alcorta actually has a rushing touchdown on the day in relief. Adams takes the snap, hands off to Alcorta, and Alcorta churns forward near the 20-yard line. That's where he goes down. It'll be 3rd down and manageable on the first possession of overtime for Canyon.
Good tough run there, got about 5 yards. Not only does it get you to 3rd and manageable, but also if you happen to not convert here, gets you 5 more yards closer for maybe a field goal try. Good tough run in there. 3rd and 5.
From the 20-yard line, Alcorta stays in at running back, a 4-wide set for Deuce Adams. And Adams throws incomplete. 4th down.
Slow to get up. Looks like he might be cramping again.
Adams will trot off the field, and a field goal attempt upcoming for Canyon. So the special teams extraordinaire, Austin Davison, to kick from about the 27-yard line. Ball is up, and it is through. So a 37-yard field goal by Davison makes this a 45-42 game. First lead of the evening for Canyon after being down by 25 points.
Davison, man, ice in his veins right there, and that's a big-time kick. And it wasn't a chip shot either. That was, 37 yards. That's not an easy kick at any time, especially when game's on the line. You're in overtime. You got to make it. He's made all his kicks tonight and done a great job punting, too. So he's definitely a special teams MVP for Canyon.
Well, when the lights are on, that's when he's played well. But he was here when the lights weren't on and it was 90 degrees outside. He was the first man on the field, and he gives his team the lead, 45-42. Now Dripping Springs has a crack at it. Their first possession in overtime, handoff to Preston Alford, and Alford stays in bounds and then is stuck out. Maybe 4 yards on the play for Alford on 1st down. So Justin Lakua is the man that pushed him out.
So now Dripping Springs runs out on offense knowing that a field goal ties it, touchdown wins, so they can be a little bit more conservative. Knowing that they don't necessarily have to score a touchdown. So that was a big positive play there for about 7 yards on first down.
2nd down and 3. Alford gets it again, and Alford stood up, maybe gains 2 yards, and makes it 3rd down and short.
Wouldn't be surprised if they run it again here, and not necessarily trying to call anybody out, but the last 3 or 4 fumbles have all come from wide receivers after they've caught it, so you definitely don't want to do that. Maybe make a catch and then fumble going into the end zone. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just go for it, or run the ball here, try to get a 1st down. If they don't, then they attempt a field goal themselves. Put it in your running back's hands, see if he can get himself a yard.
And a timeout is called by Dripping Springs to discuss just that. Here today Canyon has forced 6 turnovers, 5 of which came in the second half, 3 of which came by wide receivers after making a first down. They then fumbled the football, and Canyon recovered it. The Canyon defense, the Canyon special teams, and the Canyon offense all came out of the locker room possessed to play in front of these home fans here in this district opener, and each side of the ball has something to look back on successfully here at this point in time.
Yeah, Canyon's defense has been very opportunistic and the offense has done a good job of capitalizing on those turnovers. It's one thing to get turnovers, but then turn around and put points on the board off of those turnovers is something they've been able to do. And credit Coach Bush and his staff for making adjustments at halftime and also making sure those guys knew that, hey, the game's not over. We still got a whole other half, and they fought back and they've battled and obviously given themselves a really good chance to win here in overtime.
3rd down and 1. Preston Alford had more than 1,100 yards last year. Came into today with more than 400 yards. Under center is Novosad. He hands off to Alford, and he stood up, dives forward, bursting through first to make the tackle was Tristan Arvidsson.
4th down.
And it's 4th down.
Dripping Springs got a decision to make here. Kick the field goal, try to tie it, or get 1 yard and get a first down and try to go score a touchdown. Looks like they're going to bring their field goal team out here to try to tie it and send it into a second overtime.
And so if Davison has been the special teams guru for Canyon, Walker Wright has not been called on to kick a field goal here today. He has not missed an extra point, but this is a little bit farther. From the 23-yard line, it'll be a 33-yard field goal. And to ice Mr. Wright, a timeout is called by Canyon.
Yeah, Coach Bush taking a timeout there, not only to ice the kicker for Dripping Springs, but also I guarantee in that huddle right now they're saying, do not jump off sides. Make sure you're not lined up in the neutral zone. Any 5-yard penalty or anything like that extends the drive, gives a first down because it's only 4th and 1. So yes, you want to be aggressive and see if you can go in there and block it, but make sure you're not jumping off sides on a hard count. Make sure that you're not lined up in the neutral zone. It's hard for those edge rushers. They're way away from the ball. Sometimes their angle, they might be lined up over the ball. So I'm sure Canyon's going to have a coach right next to that official making sure all their guys are on side because any penalty here gives Dripping Springs a first down.
And for the NFC East fans, any Cowboys fans who are watching, of course, if you were watching last night on Thursday Night Football, Dexter Lawrence for the Giants was offsides, gave Washington another chance to kick a field goal, and they ended up winning the game.
Oh, it looks like they're going to go for it.
Now, scratch all of that. 4th down and 1 from the shotgun. Novosad has it. This is the game. Handoff, and Alford bullies his way forward, and it's a first down.
Gutsy call there. Came out of a timeout and decided, you know what, let's go for it. Let's go try to win this thing right now. Hand it off and got two yards on 4th and 1. So now they got 1st and 10 from about the 15-yard line, and a touchdown wins it.
45-42 the score. We're in the first overtime. A field goal was scored by Canyon. Alford slips by a tackle. Alford stays on his feet, and he will walk into the end zone, and Dripping Springs walks off with the first win of the district slate.
I'll tell you something right here. Even though Dripping Springs ended up winning this game, it's a credit to Canyon for coming back from that amount deficit. They fought so hard in the second half and had a chance to win it. And credit to Dripping Springs, too. You know, they were kind of stunned there for a while with the comeback of Canyon, but to kind of regroup and to get a game plan going and convert on that 4th down in overtime shows a lot of heart for those guys. What a game between both teams.
Final score 48-45, and Preston Alford is all reliable. Mentioned coming into today how well he was running the football. And Preston Alford did not play last week. He was not in the offense last week for Dripping Springs. Well, welcome back, Mr. Alford, after having a rushing touchdown right there to walk things off. Had a rushing touchdown earlier in the game, had a receiving touchdown, and when they needed it most, they went to their bell cow.
Yeah, and you could tell that it was something that they wanted to the Dripping Springs offense wanted to focus on going into the overtime, that they were going to win or lose based off of him, based off of handing the ball off to him. You know, the 3 turnovers previous to that had been fumbles by wide receivers, and I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they attempted a pass during that whole overtime. They handed off to Alford every single time, and they said, we're going to give it to the guy that we trust the most to not only get the yards that we need, but also to hang on to the football and not have a turnover. And they handed to him every play of the overtime, didn't attempt to pass, and it worked out for him.
And so Dripping Springs now moves to 4-0 on the season. Canyon, after a furious comeback, now falls to 1-3. And the Cougars will have a lot to like about this contest. We'll have some things to look back on, of course, earlier in the game, not wanting to get into such a hole. But as a coach, what are you telling the team after, even though they lost in this fashion, what are you telling your team?
Well, I'm telling them that I'm extremely proud of the way they came out in the second half and they competed, because there's a lot of teams out there that being down 42-17 when Dripping Springs comes out and extends that lead to 42-17 after the first or second possession of the second half. There's a lot of teams that would have just said thrown in the towel, and you'd have seen a lot of bad body language, and you'd have seen some guys maybe giving up, but not Canyon. So I would tell those guys that I'm extremely proud of the way that they fought, even though it came up a little bit short. There's a lot of things to build on. Dripping Springs is a fantastic football team, and to be able to battle back like that and have every chance to win it at the end shows how good of a team they can be. And they fought back in the second half, and I would just tell them I'm extremely proud of them. You got a lot of things to work on, but there's a lot of positives to take away from tonight's game.
Well, those positives are 6 total turnovers forced, coming back from 25 down to force a game to go into overtime. And despite all of that, Dripping Springs gets through this first game of the district slate, and they move to 4-0 on the season here in District 12-5A. Well, what a phenomenal contest this was. Some thank yous to give out. Thank you very much to Bo Witch for allowing us the opportunity to do this contest, for our director, for our producer. My name is James Haddon. I'm with Brian Hill and saying so long here from Cougar Stadium. Canyon falls here in the district opener, 48-45. Have a great night.